Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Who is ready for the Warlock today? Because that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the Warlock. And there's one thing that I definitely would like to do also. I'd like to kind of reskill my Paladin in a full spear Paladin. So instead of now playing, how do I say this? Instead of playing like the full Judgment Blast Paladin, I kind of want to mess around more with actually boosting the Spear of Heaven's damage. I wonder if we can get down to that today to squeeze out like a little more, you know? A little extra. It shouldn't be impossible, should it? I'm not even sure why we're like fully have the Holy Hammer squeezed like that, but I can put this all into this skill, right? And we can see that we do more damage with it. Have you gotten all the achievements for Requiem Solito? I miss only a couple until we're fully there and we're ready to completely go bonkers. I might find time for that off stream. But we're probably not going to have on stream more Resident Evil Requiem as we're like fully focusing on what is to come with Diablo now, right? Because we're really excited for more Diablo, right? When in 2 hours, we get to know what the Warlock is all about, how the Warlock will play. I mean, it's not like that we don't know all of this already. I mean, I just have the skill next to me called Tortured Wretch, correct? Summon a tortured demon on your enemies, dealing 524 damage and taunting them to attack it for 5 seconds. So you're throwing taunting demons at the enemy. That also has a chance to eviscerate them. Whatever eviscerating means. I mean, certainly nothing good, right? Is there like a different Paladin board we could use for going more in the direction of Arbiter skill to increase vulnerable damage? Yeah, vulnerable damage. Do I even make enemies vulnerable? You know? Do we even make enemies vulnerable? It's a good question, isn't it? Oh, chat, I completely forget to activate you, the chat. Ooh, difficult. Might as well have to do that, right? Imagine just forgetting activating the chat, not seeing who's there with us. Kinda rude. Okay, we're gonna play like a little 2 hours, have some pre-discussion about the Warlock, our expectations and everything, and then get like fully ready for the reveal. And after the reveal, pretty much like already create the first Warlock video, right? Damien, there you go. Now we get YouTube also and Twitch and everyone. Tankenstein, greetings partner. I've seen your message earlier. You've been ahead of time. Sorry for the only evening stream. I know we'd usually have an evening and a morning stream, but honestly, I would have been too tired to do this. So I took my time to rest. Warlock in season 12 time. No, Warlock is being fully revealed today. However, it's not coming for season 12 unless they're doing something completely surprising. Now, I just can't see that coming because Warlock is like their final reason or their final big reason to pre-order the game, right? I mean, technically you could have pre-ordered the game, played the Paladin, and then actually canceled your pre-order probably. Not entirely sure how that will work on Steam, right? 11 a.m. for you? Sounds perfect. So season 12 is starting on the 10th. So that's another 5 more days. We're really close. And I have already the first video created for season 12 with the strongest builds that you could possibly play in that season. However, we still have to like do more stuff as we ramp up to that. So we're planning to drop the one or the other more videos, right? All for you. How much do you have to pay for playing D4? I mean, if you never played before, there's actually a bundle where you can buy the expansions, both of them at the same time, and the base game cheaper than someone who owns the game already. So technically, now is the perfect time to start playing Diablo, as you do get everything the cheapest possible. Now, how much that would actually amount to is a very good question. I don't know if we can see that on Steam right now, because I don't have Diablo on Steam, right? So Diablo 4 right now with both expansions would be only 70 bucks. Wow. And if you would buy it separate, Lord of Hatred costs 40, right? And Vessel of Hatred did also cost us 40. So I technically paid 60 for the base, then 40, so 140 total. And you actually get it for 70 bucks currently. That's uncool. Yeah, you never played Diablo before? Well, steal. An absolute steal, my friend. I mean, the good thing is that you don't need anything in-game money for Diablo. So this is not like Path of Exile, where you have to get the game for free or get the game early access, right? But then in Path of Exile, you have to buy many stashes to actually be functional. Where in Diablo, you're just simply functional, right? So, some more Neath Iron. Love your content. Well, thank you, sir. I like making my content too. Yeah, 70 bucks. Yes, here on Steam. Like, this is the full package. So you get Diablo, Lord of Hatred, a Vessel of Hatred, and Lord of Hatred. And in Diablo, there is just no microtransactions that you require, right? So we have to say this. You buy Diablo and you can play Diablo, right? That's it. There's nothing you have to buy from the store ever. Now, obviously, you might want to buy some cool skins, but even without skins, there's quite some nifty outfits in the game. I mean, if I'm just going for, let's see, what do we have here? Wardrobe. So some of my not bought skins. This is just random. This is Khazra stuff. So this is the full Khazra armor. This will be the Furland. We got the... No, Hatreds was from... I'm not entirely sure. Doom Cask. That's also from Finding. So these are just all outfits like that you randomly get, right? This is Crown of Lucian, which is actually a cool helmet. Wanderer. So there is quite some decent stuff already just like that. Right? Just from playing the game. Buying stashes on PoE is still cheaper than Diablo. If you don't buy the stashes on sale, you're going to spend quite some money, sir. It's not really a weird take. I mean, you have to buy yourself at least, like, I would buy four stashes, maybe quad stashes even. The currency one, the flask one. Maybe you want a guild stash. It costs money. Do you have any guides for D4 like PoE? Yes, sir. We have guides for both games aplenty. I'm pretending that buying those stashes isn't something that is required or cost still quite some money. That's weird, sir. I mean, this is no mean a shot towards PoE. It's just something you need to consider when you play the game. Right? This is no means negative. It's just a consequence of a free-to-play game. So we gotta like try some different passives today. I kind of want to try some different aspects today. So I want to move a bit away from only judgment and move more closer to only spear related shenanigans and see how much damage we can squeeze out with that. Bit of the evil plan. Do you expect a surprise today aside from Warlock stuff? Well, final patch notes would be great because currently we're missing the final patch notes of season 12, right? So we had the PDR and the PDR had some learnings, obviously. And we kind of are missing now a stream where they're also talking about like what they learned from the PDR and what they actually changed towards the season. because usually that's always the case. We get PTR with the PTR patch notes, and then after the PTR is done, before the season drops, we usually get a stream where they're like, okay, so in the PTR, we noticed that, and then there is amended patch notes, right? That's something that we could get on top of the Warlock reveal, but that's the only thing I'm kind of expecting, right? Paladin is the best class you ever played in D4, but that's because it's the most advanced class, Bujar. So you're totally right with your feeling. All other classes feel like they were made by toddlers. All other classes feel like they were made by interns. And then you have the Paladin, who's actually an in-depth class with an in-depth class system with the ability to change your skills to be like off different passives and that kind of stuff. So it feels like finally an adult stepped in and actually made a proper class. And the Spirit Board is not even close to what the Paladin does. So this is literally everything they've learned in the past 3 years condensed in one class, which is fantastic to see. I mean, it was about damn time that they come up with something good. What I'm hoping for is that now the rework with Lord of Hatred lifts the other classes up to also be finally full class concepts. Because that's the thing. Like right now, as you say, Paladin is good, but all the other classes feel like heavily incomplete compared to that. And when you look at some of the passive abilities and compare that to the 4 Oath that the Paladin has, that really tremendously allow you to shape like the way how the whole build plays and how the whole character plays, and that allow for quite some variety. And then you look at some of the others, like the Barbarian having like expertise on their weapons. Biggest joke ever comparison, right? So yeah. Blizzard announced that we would get some other news. Not that I'm fully aware of, my friend. I'm like, who knows what Blizzard has for plans? I can only tell you, we as the creators from the Discord weren't told any bonus secrets. So I don't know of any like sneaky plans they might be having or something like that. So that's what I can already tell you. There's no sneaky peeky inside, right? I don't. We didn't get like some secret previews or anything. So no, I like, if I was expecting Warlock, I would tell you. And I really sadly don't expect Warlock. I mean, I was hoping for it because I would love to obviously try the Warlock before it actually gets released. But yeah, there is no hope. There's no hope. No hope. That is the Spirit Glyph. Where did I socket the Spirit Glyph? Here. For every 5 willpower, we're getting more Oomfa Boomfa. So we might as well try to squeeze out some more willpower. Is that what we're looking for in here? Most certainly we do. Who will be OP in Season 12? We already made a list of all the classes, and I'm actually going to be dropping a video about it. Looking at all the things and comparing it to the Helltides. So if we're going on helltides.com right now, so here, this is helltides.com, with a pit leaderboard, let's ignore the Paladin because Paladin is obviously broken. So right now, Paladin is obviously top 1. But if we take all the other classes, ignoring Paladin because Paladin is getting nerfed, we got Barbarian actually performing relatively well, surprisingly, over the other. Spiritborn also really good. And you get the Druid close too. Now, if I look at the bloodied bonuses, the bloody buffs, the kill streak buffs, right now, the Spiritborn will tremendously profit from them regarding attack speed and some other shenanigans. The Barbarian, though, too, it's going to be a hard race between these two. But since, like, nothing much got changed, like, if we're looking into the PTR nodes, right, what did actually change? What did actually get stronger or not? The Druid didn't see any power increases. So if we're just going for Druid and what happened to it, There's not really like, wow, Druid gets so much stronger for this. Necromancer definitely got stronger, but not enough to like kind of bring it past the others. So Necromancer get a significant buff in a lot of things, which is kind of good to see. Necromancer definitely on the way to power. I'm not sure how it looked for the Barbarian, what the Barb actually got. Barb got Weapon Master. Oh, actually, Weapon Master increased. Damn. Okay, we got Warbringer up. We got Hemorrhage, so it wasn't really much, right? It wasn't anything mattering. The same for Druid, nothing that mattering. What was Spiritborn? Did we check Spiritborn if they got anything? Infighter, well, they got a damage multiplier, bitter medicine. I mean, like, yeah, from that. Paladin is beyond broken, yeah, but Paladin is losing 1,000% damage. I mean, it's not like that Paladin is not losing like a huge chunka-dunka of damage. And that not too few. They're losing tons of damage with the next update. So Castle being nerfed is a kick in the balls. They won't be able to keep up with the others. I mean, like, we tried it on the PTR. And even with like fully juiced everything on the PTR, like everything like really maximum super monkey upgraded, they weren't like just flying away. Right? That's kind of sad. PoE needs to add a lot to make it fun. PoE actually had their best season ever so far. Now, obviously, they need the patch 05 to add something meaningful. But let's be real with each other. So far, not a single season has disappointed in terms of the content they actually add to it. So I'm not really worried about Path of Exile, that they will deliver in May. I mean, I'm just hoping that there's enough overlap, or not enough overlap between the Lord of Hatred release and the next season coming from Path of Exile. Because I definitely want to play Lord of Hatred. I mean, there's no questions asked for me. I will do the campaign. I will have to beat Mephisto, right? We have to try out the new skill trees and everything. I mean, it's gonna be mad. What I ideally hope is that we actually do get all the skill trees for all the classes already before the expansion, to just have like a preview ad. Because it's going to be a lot to take in if we do just get it, like, not close to release. We'll see. D4 is definitely lean more to dads. Oh, yeah, D4 is definitely aiming for the casual audience, and they're doing a great job at that. Maybe even to the detriment of the hardcore audience. But, I mean, you're saying that. Then again, like you can say that technically Diablo's focusing too much on the casual. However, then we have a website called the Pit Leaderboard, right? Helltides.com, where people are on a third-party website leaderboard racing against each other every single season. So, I mean, as much as they're being left behind, they're still finding a way to hardcore things, right? I wouldn't be too excited about the loot filter that's coming to Diablo, because people are going to use it wrong. So the loot filter that's coming is meant to be an iterative process loot filter, which means you're starting with no loot filter activated. And the deeper you get into the game, the more likely you're going to be to then activate a loot filter. But if you actually activate a loot filter from the beginning, then you're going to miss out on crafting materials and ruin your progression. This is something that I think a lot of people will do wrong and then complain about the game, because that's like their intention, right? So the intention is that you have like 3 or 4 loot filters, one for early game, one for mid game, one for late game, and you have to accordingly activate them. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting world where people complain that they're like, again, short on craft materials. For tonight's shadow drop, I mean, tonight nothing can shadow drop, my friend, because the season is in 5 days. So the only shadow drop that could happen is surprise. In 5 days we're getting Warlock. However, again, not putting too much hope in that. David, you write loot filters for 1 and 2, so I'll be good. David, I'm not worried about you. I'm just worried about the player base in general. Because people are stupid. This is like the only way how I can say this without, I don't know. So people see loot filter. That means people will activate loot filter from the beginning. People will miss out on loot. People will get mad and complain. And then people will get to the end game and they'll lack any crafting materials to craft because they didn't pick up any loot. And then they'll complain too. And the answer is, bro, you used the loot filter wrong. That's your own fault, you know? This is test server. No, sir. This is the actual current season. And what we're doing is we're still gaining some experience because there is the battle pass that I haven't finished yet. So we might as well in the next 2 hours play some while we're still talking already about the Warlock. When I have some of the Warlock skills on my right side screen, because I might or might have not looked into leaked footage. I mean, obviously I can't show you the pictures, chat. Like, I can't, but we can still talk about things already. What would be the best build for Spiritborn? So the best build for Spiritborn will be Payback Spiritborn. And Payback Spiritborn is actually super effing cool. Why? Because Payback Spiritborn uses the Rod of Kapaleka. The Rod of Kapaleka uses up all your vigor to give you a huge damage multiplier. But that's not all of it, because now you have Payback. And Payback does exactly the same. So you pretty much have the Rod of Kapaleka, which uses up your vigor. Then Payback does the same, and Payback gets another 200% damage multiplier if enemies hit you. So you just have to get hit, and boom, 200% more damage. Boom. I haven't played Diablo in a while. Is it worth playing? Big Ear, it will definitely be fun playing Season 12. So if you haven't played in a while, there's a lot of quality of life changes. If you plan to play with the expansion, okay? If you plan to play with Lord of Hatred, I would certainly play Season 12 for the #1 reason that you need to get used to things again. Because stuff has changed. Stuff is different. Pancake, thank you for the 61 beautiful months. 64 total, brother. Sorry. Pancake, always get to read your name. What do you think of the Warlock skills? So from what I have seen, the Warlock skills are quite interesting. The Warlock does have 4 different, how do I say this now? The Warlock has 4 different playstyles. They're called Legion, Vanguard, Mastermind, and Ritualist. And each of these playstyles are quite distinct and unique to what they do. So the Legion playstyle is a temporary summoner, which means that a skill, so let's say I use Spear of Heavens, but instead of it summoning a Spear of Heavens, it's going to summon a demon with a Spear of Heavens that does something to the enemy. So you're pretty much playing a summoner, but each of the summons you do is a damaging skill. What does that mean? So one of the summoning skills, for example, is called Tortured Wretch. And Tortured Wretch summons a demon and throws it at the enemy. Okay? You summon a demon and throw it at the enemy. And that will then taunt the enemy, deal damage, and force the enemy to attack them, while there's blades of damage rotating around. So that's your basic skill. That's how you do damage. It's kind of cool, right? Because you're summoning, but you're not summoning because your things don't have like a life bar, but it's still kind of like a summoner. I like that. I think that's fun. The meta's going to change for every class in Season 12. No, not in Season 12, but in Season 13. I mean, in Season 12, there's not big changes. We are getting the bloodied item. Yes, Gaming Trucker. But the bloodied items are really minuscule changes to builds. I mean, sure, they're going to give us bonus attack speed, bonus critical strike damage, and whatsoever and what's not sits. But it's not going to be so much that you're like, oh, what the fuck? I mean, for example, for my Golem Necro, with a kill streak, I can get even lower cooldowns, which is really fucking cool. So the Golem Necro can already spam the Golem. But again, with the kill streaks, I can reduce the cooldown even further to make like sure that I can really spam it. You throw a chainsaw with Beyblade Demon? Kinda. We're playing PoE tomorrow, Hi-Res. No, because tomorrow morning we'll wake up early to play the Hexy region in Where Winds Meet. And I don't know how long the Hexy region will take, but I will have to make some videos on Diablo, some videos on the Hexy region, some videos on the Warlock. So, like, there is no space for Path of Exile, sadly. I couldn't give the Path of Exile season the time it deserves. I could possibly play only 4 hours of it, and I'm already tired thinking. The skill tree is changing in season 12? No. The skill tree changing is for season 13 for Lord of Hatred. Season 13 is changing the skill trees. Would they release Warlock for season 12? That would be great, but I doubt it. There's sadly no evidence that's pointing in that direction. I mean, there was also no evidence pointing in the Paladin direction, but still there's nothing that really indicates we will be getting Warlock. This really just seems to be a Warlock reveal, probably a season 12 wrap-up stream today. However, like, that's still great because, I mean, I'm excited to see what the Warlock can do because I totally haven't seen a single thing beforehand already. Right? So yeah, I'm really excited to first time see all this stuff. The Diablo 2 Warlock is fun. The Diablo 2 Warlock is brilliant. I had such a fun time with the Diablo 2 Warlock. Fully agree on that. So there's another interesting Warlock skill, chat. And it's called... Let's see if I can find it. It's called Rampaging Brutality. Each cast of bombardment within 3 seconds of the last calls down more demons up to 4 additional demons. And bombardment is essentially a skill that calls down demons on the enemy. So this is kind of like how you're able to then influence your skills. Dumbhorn, listen. In case you missed it, there has been a leak already over 3 weeks ago from IGN. I mean, IGN made a video about the Warlock and posted it without permission. I mean, we know everything about Warlock already without playing it. Because that video had pretty much everything in that you need to know. However, obviously that leak doesn't totally not exist, and I've never seen the leak, and there is no leak, okay? So I don't know anything about Warlock. Yes, there were creators invited to the Blizzard HQ, and yes, they most likely got to play the Warlock early as well. And yes, they're definitely on under an NDA, you know? So you're not wrong. However, I'm not like, so how do I say this now? Let's assume I would have been at the Blizzard HQ and now I would talk about the league. Would seem a bit bad if I signed an NDA, right? Well, I haven't been at the Blizzard HQ. You know, I never signed an NDA about that. Did they not sue IGN? I mean, like, it was an honest mishap on IGN's side. But if that happened to me as the creator, I would instantly lose my Diablo partner. So no, they cannot, like, they can probably sue IGN or restrict them from further events or whatsoever. But no one gains something from that, right? I mean, end of the day, it was more publicity. How is Where Winds Meet strictly free to play? Microtransactions, high res. So in Where Winds Meet, you have to imagine that there are a few people that invest so much money into the game that it carries the whole game. I mean, people have literally zero control over their finances, as it seems, and spend heinous amounts. I mean, I have not spent a single cent on Where Winds Meet, and I'm not planning to. I'm just leeching content from the game like a weird-ass super leech. And I am not planning to spend a single cent on the game because I don't see a reason to. What happens in 1 hour 35? The microchip that I implanted in your brain will activate and you will send me all your cryptocurrency. There is also the Warlock reveal, but that's not so important. I'm more like after your cryptocurrency. New season is on the 10th. If the bloodied items ain't that much, it's basically an upgraded Eternal season then. I mean, the bloodied items are still interesting and they're still going to change some things, but they're not too cray-cray. So let me show you what a bloodied item, for example, can do. So the new bloodied items are related to kill streaks, right? You need to get kill streaks up. Luckily, we get the bloodied items already on D4 builds, so I can show you. D4 builds. Say the Spire EA is in an hour. Yes, and I wanted to play advise him, but no time, right? We might be able to play Slay the Spire if we get done with Werewind's Mead, but I am going to be busy with Werewind's Mead, to be honest. So here are this is Diablo 4 builds, right? And they have the bloodied affixes already in. So the bloody affixes can be attack speed per kill streak tier. Now the thing is, you could already get 100% attack speed without this. But with this, if this gives you now 100% attack speed, well, yay. Then we have cooldown reduction per kill streak tier, which is good for my Golem Mouncer, for example. Critical strike chance again. So if I get critical strike chance from this, and if I get cooldown reduction from this, I can get other stats on my actual items to improve them. And that's kind of nice. So bloodied items are not per se making us tremendously stronger, but they're streamlining things, right? What's the timer? Warlock reveal. The big Warlock reveal coming, where we get to know everything about the Warlock. You know? Bloodied items are trash as long as they can't overcap the attack speed. If the bloodied items are responsible for attack speed cap 2, and you can get 200% attack speed with them, then they're obviously vastly better than from what we have seen so far. Yep. Necromancer is getting buffed in Season 12. Yes, a lot. Necromancer is not even getting a little buffed. It's quite amazing what Necro is getting. Let's see, we get the leaderboards. We can close that one out. So, Necromancer is getting... I mean, we have a video on this coming, don't worry, about the top builds for every class. That's going to drop tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I got to decide on this. So, we're getting here, Blood Begets is going up to 60%, and it now scales easier. Flash Eater only needs one single corpse instead of 40 at 60%. It's 8 seconds. This is huge. This was probably the most annoying thing for Warlock ever, to consume 3 corpses for this damage multiplier. And now you just one single corpse, 60%, 8 seconds, done. Scent of Death is also going from 30 to 45. Then we have Wither going up to 400%, and Frailty is 50%, and no more timer. These are huge buffs. Mr. Primitive, honestly, the bloodied items seem extremely gimmicky. To a fault. I mean, they're gimmicky as fuck. Is probably the best way how to say it. And may it be as it is, to be honest. I mean, Season 12 is literally just a filler season to get people used to Torment 5. Right? That's why Season 12 exists. So we get to experience Torment 5. That's it. That's literally it. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing per se, though. Right? Because I like that we're able to experience Torment 5. I mean, I'm looking forward to one final time play all the builds that we have been enjoying. Because who knows what Season 13 is going to do to our classes, right? I mean, we literally don't know how any class will play. I mean, the uniques are still in, right? So I assume that the triple Warlock, the triple Golem Mouncer will still work. But, like, due to the change to the skill tree, that we don't have passives anymore, like, how are we going to spend our points? What are we going to spend our points on, right? It's just going to be so different. Oh, this is absolutely just a filler to make people happy. I mean, they could have literally just let the current season running, but I mean, I'm still fine with it. I I mean, no one forces anyone to play. I guess there's actually a lot of people who are going to skip this season. However, there's also tons of people who will play, right? If they would change the skill trees this season, it would be nice. Honestly, it would be ginormous. It would be humongous. It would be amazing. The problem is they can't change the skill trees already. We talked about this earlier. It's impossible to change the skill trees right now. Why? Because the skill tree change comes with an item change. And the item change and the aspect change is important. Because they're moving power away from the passive tree. So we're not going to get like 30% more damage, 20% more. That damage is gone. Therefore, we need to get it somewhere else. Any other Warlock skills you can talk about? Actually, there is a Warlock skill which draws a ginormous sigil on the ground that erupts into Hellfire. You have seen it in Diablo 2 already. Diablo 2, this is kind of like the ultimate of the Warlock. Draw, boom, explosion. I think in the current Warlock, it's more like a mastery skill or something like that. So yeah, that's going to be cool. It's a ritualist specialization pretty much, where you're going to be dropping sigils left, right, and center on the ground. Your ritual markers, and then boom, 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 explode everything. The changes to the skill tree should have been done a long time ago. They were actually promised vastly earlier. Okay, so the skill tree changes were promised vastly earlier. However, they obviously postponed them to add them to the expansion, right? I mean, we were promised this like 5 seasons ago or so, that there would be a major skill tree rework. But I think Diablo noticed, hey, you know what? What if we do this with an expansion? That wouldn't that be banger, right? Yeah. I mean, smart move. Cannot fault them. Business-wise. Still annoyed. Right? Also, Shroud of False Death won't be useless. So what you're losing is... So you're losing these generic damage things, right? You're losing... You deal 24% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. That doesn't mean that the passive tree doesn't give us any more damage. So again, there is a passive here. This is a passive now of a skill called Brutality, right? Of Bombardment. So this is of Bombardment. Each cast of Bombardment within 3 seconds of the last calls down more demons, okay? That means if you spam Bombardment, you get more demons. On top, this Bombardment then has 4 skills branching out from it for passives that influence it. So you still have passives that influence the skill directly. So let's say you're playing the Judgment Spear, okay? Instead of just being, hey, cooldown, hey, core skill, it's also going to be Spear of Heavens has 50% more damage. Spear of Heavens does 2 more projectiles. If you use Spear of Heavens, you have 50% more attack speed. You know, that's what's going to happen. So it's not like the passive tree doesn't give you more power. It's that the passive tree works for the skill, right? That the passives in the passive tree are not just generic fuckery, like 24% increased damage. It's going to be locked into the skill, right? Your auras are bigger, your damaging skills are faster, they have more projectiles, that kind of stuff. Which makes sense. When is Warlock going to be playable? Warlock is going to be playable on the 28th of April. That's how long you will have to wait. And I am very sorry. Why ever? Still very sorry. My apologies. Don't work at the company, but I still feel for you. Not sure if I want to play Paladin next season, or if we're going to send it right away into Necromancer. I mean, technically, I would like to play some Paladin, because Paladin is kind of cool. But at the same time, you know, I do like my Necro dude. Ah, it's up here. I should have known. So yeah, unless they're surprising us with a paladin drop, nothing is coming. I mean, there was a post, Chan. Okay, listen. There was a post that was kind of confusing. Okay, from Diablo. Let me show you. Because it's kind of like, why? Why that post? What's like here? So in their latest and greatest announcement, here, this was the one. Chains will break, demons will rise. Learn more about Diablo's new warlock. Okay, the powers of the warlock will soon be unchained. What does that mean? So, it's sure the developer update, right? That's about to tell us about the warlock. But what do you mean unchained? I guess it's referring to the Diablo IV warlock is supposed to be the most powerful warlock, right? So that's like the thing. The Diablo II warlock is novice warlock. The Diablo Immortal warlock is warlock gone rogue, a bit more evil. And then the Diablo IV warlock is meant to be max power warlock from a story standpoint. So maybe that's what the unchained is referring to. However, it's a weird phrasing. Yeah, it means they're baiting people again, exactly. But it just like from a phrasing perspective, you could be, oh, ha, 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 maybe there's a shadow drop coming. Right? Maybe there's a little surprise on the horizon. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Who knows, right? Diablo Immortal has not gotten the Warlock. I think Diablo Immortal is getting it in May to June. Don't nail me down. May to June is, I think, more the realistic. Is Season 12 going to have power? Blood like Vampire? No, there's no power. Oh, okay, so ha ha ha. Wait a second. As it seems, there are no powers. Okay, so we played the PTR. The PTR has no powers. The season theme seems to be only the kill streak and the bloodied items, unless Blizzard is coming with a surprise around the corner where they're like, look at this bitch. here's the whole season theme on top. But again, really doubt it because it's just a filler, right? Just a filler. Oh, we'll see. Maybe not. So what do you think, chat? Should we start with Paladin next season? Should we do Necromancer? What's it gonna be? It technically would be my last season to start Paladin because obviously season 13 is going to be Warlock related. I mean, I do believe that a lot of people that haven't played the Paladin before are going to go for Paladin, right? So might as well have to go for it again. Always the newest class. Yeah, it's sadly that what it is, right? But the newest class get like heavily nerfed. It's not even the strongest class anymore. But due to the heavy nerf, it might be more interesting to mess around with. Like I'll definitely be making like a full build guide for the way how I imagine my Paladin to be played. And I will actually remove Castle. So what we're going to do before release of the season is we're going to make a full build without Castle and see how strong it is. Because again, Castle is going away and Castle is costing me 900%, chat. So my Castle right now is at, let me pull this up, right? So my Castle is sitting at 1000% bonus damage. 1000%, you heard right. And in season 12, it's 100. 100. How much rewarding Helltide when you reach Endgame in Tier 4? I mean, Helltide is one of the most rewarding activities, sir. It gives you boss materials. It gives you tons of XP. Helltide is it. Everyone loves Helltide. I'm gonna go for Warlock. I think everyone and their mom will go for Warlock. I mean, it's the new class. Not playing the new class on release just seems like you hate fun. I mean, obviously, every class is going to change, but you want to play the new hot shit? I want to play the new hot shit. But I'm certainly going to try to throw demons at my opponent. That's what's going to happen. I mean, if I'm not playing a Legion Warlock, I would be surprised. But it might not be the strongest, so we're obviously looking for a convenient playstyle for everyone, right? And I have to see where that goes. And I have to ask Blizzard for some secret early playtest server link. Come on, Blizzard. I know you get that. Don't be shy. Help a brother out. We just want to play the Warlock a bit earlier. Think about going Sorg. Sorg is powerful, my friend. So what does Sorg do? Sorg plays lightning. You get Essador's Overflowing Cameo. That's an amulet. And with Essador's, you stack lightning skills, and then your crackling energy just does crazy damage. If you never played that before, it's a super fun playstyle. If you already have done it before, it might get stale. I mean, it would be for me the third time doing Essador's Overflowing Cameo now. However, it was really fun to play every time. You know? So yeah, Sorg is very great. This is a Paladin? Yes, sir, this is a Paladin. And Warlock Reveal is coming in 1 hour and 18 minutes. I'm sorry for not playing the unreleased class right now. Please, like, crucify me on a cross for not hacking into the mainframe and downloading more RAM. So yeah. I'll do better, I promise. Crackling energy is crazy powerful. Yes, and it's really fun to play because the actual power curve of crackling energy is really easy to do. Am I not having a pad? My pad is useless. You know what? I got a new pad. Where is it? Look at him. Look at him, chat. He's the goodest boy. Look, chat. He's the goodest boy. My friend, the demon. Yeah, he's so cool. And there will be War Plans thing. So the War Plans thing is pretty much just our current endgame system in a gamified overlay. What I am looking forward to is the skill trees for every activity, because I think that's kind of cool. So we're getting like a Path of Exile-esque skill tree for each activity, so that our Hell Tides, that our Nightmare Dungeons, our layer bosses, each of them can be different, boosted. I think that's kind of cool. Definitely shows promise. Hope that the skill trees are not too generic, so that they actually put some efforts in there. But yeah, it should definitely, like, give us some varied gameplay fun. Hopefully. We'll see. I mean, first and foremost, beat the campaign, right? Because that's going to be the most interesting part about Season 13, too. I mean, I want to play the campaign. I want to see Mephisto. I want to see what's happening. There's no chance that they shadow launch the season in an hour. No, for shizzle. The season is planned for the 10th. And so why can't they shadow launch a season? Very simple. There's a battle pass still running. Now, this sounds stupid, right? But it is, like, you can't. There are people that haven't finished the battle pass. And now imagine you just skip that. I mean, how bad would that be? And how much would people be enraged about this? The war plans are also coming with Vessel of Hatred, Lord of Hatred in April. I didn't think about the battle pass. That's why I'm here for shizzle. So you don't have to think about things. I got your back. I'm your external brain. So no worries. Got you covered. Zatine, thank you for the 91 months of support. Zatine, welcome back, partner. Hope the family's doing great. Summer's coming. Not winter, the other way around this time. Hope they fixed the wardrobe bug. Which wardrobe bug? I wasn't even aware there's one. I mean, seriously. What have I missed, brother? Also, some news that something is getting shadow drop. Well, some creators have made videos about a potential shadow drop of the Warlock, but there's no empirical evidence for that, so it's pretty much just clickbait. But it's good clickbait, so everyone is excited. Can't blame them for making the videos. You know, people love to theorize. People love to take shreds of information and make more about it than it actually is. And that's just human curiosity. Can't be mad about that. Oh, ether goblins. Yeah, let's go. If I spend platinum for the battle pass, I would be really mad if they cancel one. Yes, exactly. I mean, the only thing, like, so how do I say this now? Technically, if they wanted to shadow drop a season, they would have to give everyone that has the battle pass and that hasn't finished it the full battle pass for free, right? I mean, that would speak against everything Blizzard has ever been doing to maximize profits, right? That pretty much was required to skip the last 5 days of the season, and white obviously won't ever happen. I mean, it's like, hey, shareholders, should we skip the last 5 days of the season to like just shadow drop, like, you know, and then like less profit? Yeah, no. What? That's great, preposterous. Why would you ever say that? People were hyped for the Paladin. We're done with the game in a week. Yeah, but where's the problem, sir? I mean, you get a season, it's free content, and you get a free whole week of gameplay. I know people want more, but if a season gives you 7 days of free gameplay for free, that's actually good. And then you can play another class or just move on and play something else. I mean, a longevity of ARPGs or a longevity of a season is a myth that can never happen anyways. There's no way how you can make a season last 3 months. It's simply impossible. This is not what ARPGs are designed to be and how they're designed to work. There's no ARPG who's doing that as well. I mean, anything up to 2 weeks is actually pretty insane for free content every month. Also, that 1 week that people are done in only goes for the extreme gamers because the casuals take longer. The first time I've been hyped for Diablo in a while. A lot of people are actually, and I am very excited for that. I mean, it's nice to see people actually being excited and not being like, D4 dead. I mean, the people saying D4 dead are anyways idiotic, sorry. Because the game clearly isn't. Paladin wasn't free. Obviously, Paladin wasn't free, main event. He's part of the expansion, which gives you more than 1 week of new content. However, you get the Paladin early plus the weeks of free content. I mean, don't intentionally misunderstand my words, my friend. We don't have time for that. We're intentionally being dense. The Paladin getting nerfed, which will be the next best build. I mean, Paladin losing 900% damage will definitely catapult it lower. However, Paladin will still be strong, Ash. So Paladin will be one of the top tier builds. However, it is looking currently towards Paladin or Spiritborn again. Those are the two that are looking very juicy currently for what I would expect. Paladin Temple Creation extended the leak by 46 weeks, but why is that strange, STC? It was an actual endgame mechanic that you could actually max out and that people actually had tons of fun interacting with. It's a meme? No, Tiger, it's not a meme. I'm sorry to tell you this, and I know it hurts, but there are actually people out there who think Diablo 4 is an absolute terrible game and that it's dead already, and that it's really weird that people are still playing it. Like, I wish it was just a meme and we could laugh about it. I wish people weren't really like this. Trust me, sir. I wish the world was a simpler place sometimes. But yeah, that's sadly not the case. People are being intentionally very, very weird about stuff. You hit 300 Paragon in Season 11. That's crazy. Are you going to do Crimson Desert content, Corin? Yeah. I'm working on a review key currently. By all means possible. Okay, we get the helmet. And we're going to sanctify it with a upgraded an affix to a greater affix. Woo! And then we're going to take our boots and we're going to upgrade it to another greater... Woo! Oh, man, I really don't like Sanctify. It's not my cup of tea. What season is this now? This is currently season 11. We are in 1 hour getting the Warlock reveal. There's sadly no official countdown from Blizzard. YouTube.com/Diablo. So there is no... from them, right? When we get the developer update live stream, oh my goodness, look at their thumbnail looking worse than mine. Okay, chat, rate the thumbnail. So this is the actual developer live stream thumbnail. Well, what is this for a washed out picture? I'm sorry. I mean, I took some images from their game. I spliced it through Gemini and some other AIs, and we actually get a better picture of the Warlock than they have. How do I have a clearer image, chat? I'm not even working at that company. Man. Explain. David, I never forgive them to release paid expansion. David, one thing you get to say, though, yes, paid expansions. However, they always updated the basic game. So when Vessel of Hatred came out, you could play the game in its updated state, just obviously without the Vessel of Hatred, right? Without the Mercenary and the runes and whatsoever. But you still get the Torment tiers and you still get the better progression. The same is actually happening now with Lord of Hatred, that you get like the whole skill tree reworks for everyone, with the level cap increase, with the whatsoever, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's cool. But I agree. I mean, it definitely was a bit weird to see a paid expansion when there's still a lot to be done to improve the game furthermore. Oh, where were we stuck? Yeah, we get the Judicator's helmet, so this is what I want to play, because this gives me Judicator skills, right? That boosts my Spear of Heaven. Then we get the bonus skills for Spear of Heaven from the Cathedral Song. Sadly, we don't have that higher, but that's 12 ranks already. I guess I would want to have gloves that have bonus core skills, preferable. Is there a ring from Paladin? A Paladin unique ring that helps with Spear of Heavens out of interest? What do we have for the Paladin side of things? Arbiters of Aid. Your core skills deal increased damage during Arbiters of Aid. 4 seconds after. You have Mother's Embrace. We had Seal of the Second Trumpet, which is obviously Judgment skills. That was... no interesting one. I mean, one thing I need is the Opus. right? So I have this one here, Griswold's Opus. Let's actually get which boss drops this one again? Chand. Which boss drops Griswold's Opus again? Which boss? Indian Dog. So we're gonna go over to Torment 3 because I need that. Then we're gonna go over for the Deceiver because I don't think I can kill him in Torment 4 currently. What traits does Warlock have? What do you mean with what traits? Warlock has 4 distinct playstyles. They're called Legion, Vanguard, Mastermind, and Ritualist. Mastermind is a rogue playstyle with shadow stuff. Shadow Warlock, kind of. Was the D4 endgame after 2 years? It's still the same. We got Hell Tides, Nightmare Dungeons, Lair Bosses, Undercity, Infernal Hordes, that kind of stuff. I will personally say that the Diablo IV endgame loop with the Tormentors is, for me, still one of my favorite endgame loops. I know a lot of people are not fans. I am. It's just simple and on the point. What about Torchlight 2? Torchlight is great. Torchlight Infinite. I like that. But I don't have time for even more ARPGs in my roster. Okay. Oh. Hey, chat, look. Look, Mom. Look. I don't need it. That's the problem. So we just get the most useless item in existence, the Grandfather, because I don't need it. What I need is this sword here. Griswold's Opus. Right? So, I need a different sword. Briggest are dropping Opus, but someone said Andariel and the dog. I could probably look it up online, but then I would have to look it up online. But I trust Chad, right? Oh, I thought you were dead, so I stopped damaging you. You know, I wholeheartedly trust Chad. I know I'm an idiot. A ring with 3 greater affixes. Wow. And it's probably going to be a useless ring. That's the crazy part. Oh, that's the wrong one. Actually, it's Harbinger of Hatred and Duriel. It doesn't say Andariel. So what ring did I get? I got a Ixfel's Corroded Signet. Wow. Someone just shoot me in the face, please. We get robbed by chat, ladies and gentlemen. They promised us the world, but the world was a lie. Now we still don't have a better Griswold Opus. I mean, mine only has like 58% bonus, and that's too few. So I need Duriel. At least I got a helm with 2 greater affixes that I don't need. What is it? Oh, I got a Godslayer crown. Wow. Wow. That's pretty disappointing in so many ways. I'm not gonna lie. Well, what's your favorite class in Diablo 4? Necromancer, still. Anyone know how to get the Khazar set? You have to spam the Black Citadel until you have all pieces. So Black Citadel, and then more Black Citadel, and then more Black Citadel. And after you did a lot of Black Citadel, you do some more Black Citadel. I got 2 shards of Arathiel. Robbery. Got even a shot of Arathiel with a greater affix. Not a single Griswold's. How much Jiggy do I have? I get up to 15. Hopefully we get another raid in Lord of Hatred. I don't think so. I mean, by all means, the raid was a fail. right? No matter how much you, I, me, everyone, no one might or might have not enjoyed the raid. The raid was a complete failure. No one wants to play it. I enjoyed the raid once, twice. That's it. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I never played it again afterwards. Correct? I mean, we all played it. We all had fun, and then we never touched it again ever. Probably. So should I sell a little? Should I wait till next week? You should probably wait until the 10th because that's when the new season is starting. Most powerful build for Necro, triple Golem currently, or Shadow Necro, where triple Golem is way easier to scale than Shadow Necro, especially if you don't know how Shadow Necro works. So triple Golem. I think the mechanics were interesting. Oh yeah, the mechanics were certainly interesting. Again, like the basic idea of the Black Citadel wasn't bad. Let's be real. So making the Black Citadel, I think, wasn't the mistake. Making it team play only was the big mistake. I mean, I would to this day actually interact with a Black Citadel if I could do it alone, but I can't. And I really don't have the patience to play with someone else. Made a video for triple Golem? Yes, sir. Hey, chat, we finally get the sword, just not as a greater affix version. Doo-doo. I think I have enough for one Harbinger of Hatred. Yeah. I mean, like, so how do I say this? For some reason, Blizzard still believes that this is a massive multiplayer online game. I would really like to see... So you have to imagine that they made the Black Citadel because their stats were telling them that a lot of people play together constantly. But I have a hard time believing that. I know people occasionally play the game together, right? But I have a hard time believing that that's the normal mode of operation, team play. But Blizzard would surely not have made a decision on a whim, right? Ladies and gentlemen, surely Blizzard would have not made a decision on a whim. I completely forget to summon him. I'm just running around here like an idiot. Peinlich, as we say in Germany. Or schwierig. Yeah, I'm only good with someone when trading. Oh, you mean when you're activating your Chinese gold sellers? Busted, sir, huh? Gotcha. You thought you could get away with your crimes. We got you. Intelligence for more critical strike damage. Farming Duriel with people used to be a thing. Yes, farming Duriel with people used to be a thing because everyone profited from it. Since they changed the actual farming of bosses, have you ever done a boss together with someone else? So yes, it used to be a thing when everyone profited from it. However, that's not the case anymore, right? No one profits technically from someone doing a boss with you, technically.
See some steel you need. Use it well.
Your season, 5 days. 5 days. Which class has the best Paragon board? That's a cool question. Probably Paladin right now. It has very versatile Paragon boards that work for everything. Yeah. Today? No. Today the new season doesn't start in Diablo, sir. You are misinformed. Very misinformed. PoE tomorrow? Yes, PoE is tomorrow with the Mirage League. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Good one. By the way, you know what's interesting? Have you seen how many people watched the Path of Exile Mirage announcement on Twitch? I mean, we're looking at, what was it? Multiple 100,000 viewers for an announcement. Today is the Warlock release reveal. Let's check the overall excitement of the Diablo IV community. Oh, 5K viewers. Damn. I wish there was some more excitement at times, right? For the game that I enjoy playing to date still. But that has waned as of late. Leveling Druid in Path of Exile 2 Alvarado. We have multiple of those, sir. And if you go back, like, I don't know, 10 videos on YouTube, we pretty much have for every single possible Druid build you can imagine, we have a build for you. I mean, let's be real. Twitch numbers don't say anything about general interest in games. That's what I revert like YouTube numbers for, right? Because they more show in general if people are wanting to watch content on a game or not. Always a good indicator. And usually YouTube has been relatively stable every single season, right? I mean, look at Path of Exile 2. I literally just made a Path of Exile 2 video like 8 weeks into the season. Usually no one would watch that. You know? No one would watch that. My phone is ringing a ding ding. Important emails. Oh, exclusive PC key and console key? What game? You didn't write the game name in. Damn it. And currently keys are flying wild after the Steam Next Fest chat. There are a bunch of interesting releases around the corner. My inbox is burning. That person forgot to include the game name. If I could, I would hand more of those keys out to you, chat, because I barely don't have time to like test all these games. Scam high raise. Oh, there's definitely some weird scams going on in the creator industry where they're just trying to get you to sign some contracts, promising you the world. It's special at times. But not like, oh, I'm still in Torment 3. Oops. Oops, so we just did this in Torment 3. Well, I guess I'm the chosen one. What can I say? Obviously better. That's why that happened. Only 50 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Take over your channel and post crypto trash on it. Woo, crypto trash. Elon Musk promising you the Elon coin and buy the Elon coin. So let's actually see if my 58% thingy would give me more damage than anything else. So we're gonna take this one. We're gonna upgrade it. Then I have to socket it too. Socket it. Get myself an emerald. Put it in. Double your Bitcoin. Oh, my favorite scam is still the send me a Bitcoin and I send you 2 back. And people actually believing it. And you're like, how can you be so dense? Right? New ethics added. Maximum life. Well, you know what? That's not even bad. That's actually good. Damn. Look at me, maximum lifing now. Let's see if that made us stronger. Warlock PDR or life? No, just Warlock reveal, sir. They're just going to tell us everything about Warlock. There's not actually the Warlock being revealed. Is running Dark Citadel worth it? Well, you want to run it at least once to experience it. However, is it worth it from a loot standpoint? Most certainly not. For running it for the actual, for having ran it, yes. Most certainly. What do I unlock the Heavenly Fortune Torment too? Isn't it automatically unlocked? Are you going to stream the Warlock reveal? Yeah, that's what we're here for, my friend. We just came on early to get you already all heated up, to give you a home to hang out in. And then on the actual reveal, we will be there. We will write ourselves everything down, and then we will do the TLDR video afterwards. For the people that didn't have time to watch the whole stream. I mean, I assume the stream is going to be an hour long. There's going to be a lot of unnecessary blah, 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 and wibbity, wobbity, whoop, whoop, whoops. There's probably going to be a Q&A that doesn't answer any questions, because the Q&A questions that randomly get chosen are always the most uninteresting ones in the world. That kind of ask things that like 3 times already told in this stream, and people just didn't listen. So, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, we're definitely doing more damage with our Opus, even though it's just like such a weak rolled Opus. That's interesting. Yeah, honestly, Ironforge, yes, people that were interested checked out the IGN video, but it was really quick taken down, and a lot of people weren't even aware of this kind of stuff. So the people that spend a lot of time in the internet have watched the IGN video. However, that is a minuscule amount. So yes, the loud majority again knows things, but the bigger minority, the quiet majority, does not know shit. When I came to this conclusion a long while ago, I've been actually posting on Twitter a lot of stuff about Crimson Desert, right? And now usually I would know that all this knowledge is readily available. Because it is. Like, it took me like, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour to figure all this stuff out. However, I did have to watch a lot of different streams, and I did have to watch a lot of different videos on 2x speed, right? And I had to write all the information down. So the information is there, but that doesn't mean that people have time to look for it, right? I mean, they'd rather read like a tweet on Twitter that gives them all the information instead of searching for it for hours. So yeah. The season will be dead. I mean, season 12 is a filler season for Diablo enthusiasts. And you shouldn't underestimate the amount of Diablo enthusiasts. There are actually plenty. Yeah, we're definitely stronger now. Interesting. Are there any other good Necro builds apart from the Golem one? Yes, Shadow. So you get the Shadow Blight Necro and you get the Golem Necro. Those are pretty much your 2 choices that you currently have. Now, both are fine-ish. I personally prefer the Golem one because it has like a very nifty power scaling that allows you to go super easy through the Paragon tiers. Right? Because you have to consider that some builds need like 50 Paragon points to be good, and other builds need like 200 Paragon points before they become good. It's kind of like the Spiritborn problematic. Because Spiritborn is a class that needs to have tons of Paragon points before it becomes remotely good. Werewolves meet Hexy in a few hours. It's not a few hours, it's more like I mean, for me, it would be another 10. Yoski. I mean, it's like 3 a.m. European time. I won't wake up for that, but I will wake up in the morning and then play Hexy. So yes, there is going to be a Hexy stream somewhere like 7 a.m. in the morning or something around that. And I'm really excited. I'm going to get the bamboo cut dust. And we're going to be rocking the bamboo cut dust. Isn't there a necro build that has tornadoes over your screen? You're talking about the bone storms, but sadly bone storm is not calculating in a way that you would like it to, and it's not scaling in a way that you would like it to, so bone storm is actually not viable as a skill. So yeah, I hope on every class more styles will be A tier. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I personally would enjoy if every core skill would be able to have an endgame build. That is obviously just me dreaming, right? I mean, most builds will probably be able to get to Torment 4, more or less. Some do it easier, some do it harder. But yeah, my dream would obviously be that every core skill would be a viable build. That'd be cool. Warlock will be what Necro should have been, yes. Yes, sir. I can't shake that feeling as well. From what I have seen on the Necromancer with temporary minions, a Hellhound summon, being able to turn into a demon, having like an actual shadow build attached to it, ritualist, that kind of stuff. It seems like the Necromancer concept as a Warlock in done. Just better for Sork, Fireball, or Meteor. Lightning. Fireball or Meteor are both not doing fantastic as of currently. I mean, Fireball at least was interesting for pit farming. I don't know, pit farming, Helltide farming. In front of hordes. I'm not sure how that's looking currently, but it was really decent for in front of hordes. Like, that, actually people loved it. Now, that could have changed. A Meteor does work, but you have to put so much effort in to achieve the most basic things, which is a problem, right? That's what I talk about. Like, some builds need you to put in minimal effort, minimal gear, minimal everything, and your build is already going to go crazy, like the triple golem for Necro. Whereas other builds, you already need like the exact right unique, and that unique needs to be max rolled and that kind of stuff, or no fun. Gorilla, thank you for 75 months of support. Gorilla, Dankeschön. Welcome back, brother man. That's very kind of you to support for such a long time. And that's the problem with Meteor. I mean, if you look in the pit leaderboard, here, we actually did that. So we throw an eye into the pit leaderboard to see how well. Do I still have it open? Sork. And you're searching for Meteor now. There are a grand total of 3 players who are in the pit leaderboard, and each of them have absolute brutal gear. Warlock can transform into a melee demon. An actual melee demon. Which is cool. And you can then shoot fire skills. But yeah, it seems to be about it. A melee demon is possible as an ultimate. Like, I haven't seen the key passive of the Warlock yet. So I'm really intrigued to see how the key passives work. Because key passives are obviously things that really shake up builds, right? It really makes stuff go crazy. That's what I'm really intrigued in. This is a Warlock class? No, this is the Paladin right now. The good old paladin. And we can play with right click only. Don't even have to do more. Just throw blast hammers and use my judgment to explode people. Actually pretty illegal. I'm gonna just spam that and I win. Oh, we're still in Torment 3, by the way. Oops. I'm not playing in Torment 3, Chad. We made an oopsie. You clear pit 75, then you have beaten the season, sir. That's the only thing you needed to beat the season. Pit 75 down. Warlock class is not playable yet. Warlock class will be revealed in a jiffy. In a jiffy. I beat Resident Evil in 2 hours, 47 minutes. That's amazing, King Ghost Wolf. Congrats on the platinum there, brother. Let's go to Torment 4. Accidentally running around the wrong Torment tier. Torment 4. So what do we still have to like sanctify? Our ring. I haven't even tempered our amulet. Let's restore more resource because why not? Ever tried T4 Lilith yet? Yeah, I wasn't doing enough damage a bit ago. And we could still like just kill here a bunch of dude mans for the Shard of Agonies. So that we could do on Torment 3. Actually, he doesn't give the Shard of Agony. I would have to kill Grégoires. And then use the Shards of Agony to kill Duriel for a better Grimwolds. That's what we could do, technically. Peter, the reason we're saying Chad and not chat is because the T in German is a T. And that is a relative harmless T. So it's a very soft T. So I tend to go with Chad over chat. Tell me what you're drinking. Here. It's pretty much high protein yogurt without much sugar. It's very convenient to eat during stream if you need a snack on something that's not unhealthy for you. Brother, I couldn't even do a handstand for free. Nor can I do it for $100, so appreciate it though. 37, almost. Do you want me to land in the hospital? I just drank an acai berry banana blueberry smoothie, but that would take effort, sir. This doesn't take effort. Ain't nobody got time for that. Great videos. Well, thank you, sir. I'm trying. I'm trying to have others, to help others have more fun in the games I play. Because I have the time to put in to figure out stuff that you don't necessarily have, right? You don't have the time to bang your head against problems for hours upon hours, but I have that time. May that be good or bad, right? But yeah, we have the time to bang our head against problems for you, so you don't have to bang your head against problems. Where is there more intelligence that we could be getting? Oh, there is more intelligence that we could be getting. That's more crit. Oh, what does our crit say currently? Our crit is sitting at, oh, it's almost 3,000. Look at that. So right now we're just farming shards of agony pretty much because I just want to get enough shards of agony to summon Duriel multiple times. So I can get the sword I'm looking for. A betrayer's husk, you say? And a shard of agony in this economy. Oh, I accidentally summoned him again. That wasn't even my intention. Nuke. So yeah, in 2 days, we'll also have a video for all the strong builds in Season 12. So if you're waiting for that, I got you. We're pretty much going to be covering the strongest builds in Season 12. So the ones with the best power curve. Because ain't nobody got time in a 48-day season to play something off meta. Right? And in a 48-day season, you just got to play what's obnoxiously powerful. And that's that. Break it all down. How many do I have? I have 6. I could kill 2 Duriels. Let's try to get 3 more. What do you call yourself, Ponyhof? Well, Ponyhof means pony farm. That means that you're either all ponies or you're weird. Alternative. But there's also German saying that goes, life ain't no pony farm. Which does mean that life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. However, we could at least create a stream that is more sunshine and rainbows than everyday will problems, right? But that's kind of the origin of the name. Because why not? Where do you get the info, Bandit? Well, you can Google it, where all the bosses are dropping. So a couple of patch notes back, when new items get introduced, the patch notes always say where said items are dropping. Obviously, if you forgot where items are dropping, you could, for example, open something like D4 builds, and D4 builds under every unique actually tells you where said unique is dropping. So I can go here for Griswolds, right? And it says Harbinger of Hatred and Duriel. So that's how you can also find it out if your memory is like a Sif and you do need the bonus memory booster in between. You play No Rest for the Wicked, Sean. I mean, if you enter No Rest for the Wicked on YouTube, you will find my videos. You actually have no choice, brother. They're literally going to try to strangle you and jump down your throat. So yes, I cannot wait for No Rest for the Wicked 1.0. It's going to be an absolute 10 out of 10 experience. Might be overhyping it, but I don't think so. I think No Rest will actually be a true 10 out of 10 experience when it's then fully done, fully released, everything in the class system, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be epic. Right? Oh. We can both be ponies and weird, Tankenstein, always, every day. I mean, being weird is the new cool, right? I mean, how else did I ever pull my wife? Definitely not by not being weird. What nationality are you? I'm German. As German as it gets, I guess. Should still, like, start playing a different rune combo. We've been playing like here the just blessed spear randomness, but we could by all means play something with a who and then can I play a who and quacks and just see what happens? Do I even have a quacks? Oh, quacks. I would ruin my resource in between. I didn't get a sword. Sword robbery, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sword robbed. Which paladin build is this? Judgment Paladin with Spear of Heaven spam. And I focused a bit more on Spear of Heavens with a Cathedral Song. So we're actually like full sending it there. Oh, the Diablo stream officially has a countdown now. Ladies and gentlemen, 28 minutes and 30 seconds. We're so close. The stones to make Duro mats at the Alchemist. We have like a 1 Stygian stone. Again, we haven't played too much in this character. We got like enough, but we don't have too much. We didn't get the sword. That's so sad. The 3 builds with the most speed for what? Like, this is a very important question. Most speed for what? Most speed for open world farming, most speed for Infernal Hordes, most speed for pit pushing. I mean, usually the pit pushing build is also the strongest build, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the pit pushing build is literally just good for pit pushing, and that's about it. And for the rest of the activities, it's shit. Movement, every build can get 200% movement, 100% movement, 170%? 75. Sword can teleport, that helps. Rogue can consistently dash. They have an advantage there. Right? So it's almost there, Chan. Almost there. 26:45. The developer update, Warlock deep dive, and season 12. Oh, they actually said it. Interesting. I wasn't aware that we are getting the season 12 overview as well. Like I assumed that we would be getting it, but they actually added it here. So we are getting a season 12 overview too, Chad. Okay, that's pretty good. So we'll finally know more. That means tons of update videos coming. I mean, you gotta get ready. I mean, I will stay online after the stream. Don't worry. And we will be wrapping everything up. The full Warlock reveal in a video, the season 12 changes, all that kind of stuff. Oh, goodness. So much content to create. Gasp. It's great, though, since we have been starving for content for a while now. Zeal Paladin, I actually have seen quite some interesting Zeal Paladin builds. It's not the most common way how people do play Paladin, but it's definitely an intriguing way to play Paladin. For sure. I did always like the skill Spear of Heavens because you're just going pew, pew, right? That intrigued me from the get-go. Why I just wanted to play that. But imagine just being able to go pew, pew. I mean, not that I actually need Spear of Heavens, right? For clearing these things out, I can just go through with my hammer. Hammerden is pretty cool too. It is. It is. People obviously love their Hammerden. Okay, Diablo up to 7K, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking good. We're looking upwards and onwards. Shield Charge is lazy dad couch, just walk, run, ripe. I haven't actually played Shield Charge at all. I'm really getting around to mess with that skill. I mean, what I'm really intrigued is to see like the actual new paladin tree, how that will change, right? Because right now the paladin tree, obviously, how do I say this? Is the old tree, but the new one is going to have like all the cool new passes and everything. So it's going to be fire. So like I can still in this, I don't even need my core skill. I can just hold down the hammer and still do billions of damage. It's kind of like how broken Castle is. So we'll definitely have to revise our passive tree and make a season 12. Make a season 11 build that's not running Castle to see how much damage I could still weasel out. Right? Should still be good. But just 900% damage less, right? I mean, how much is 10 billion minus 900%, Sean? Someone do the math. A little bit, right? 2-3 damage off. Could probably not hurt too much. Paladin is still going to be extremely fast for leveling, especially because it does mostly area damage. Are you having the cosmetic Twitch drops during reveal? Everyone, son of a witch. If you're a streamer in the Diablo category, you just get the drops. That's how the Twitch drop systems are set up. I'm going to miss my 100k. Yeah, I mean, like, it's nice to have all the cool bonus damages. Twisted Gamer, thank you for the Prime Gaming subscription. My friend, pleasure. Appreciate it. Sinazir, good to see you there. 20 exquisite blood, you say? Don't mind if I do. The good thing about exquisite blood is that it's Lord Zur, right? And Lord Zur is the one boss that I have to kill for my shield. I still don't have the perfect version of my shield yet. But we're working on it. Ooh, did we destroy the Grandfather? We did, didn't we? That means I have 2 Resplendent Sparks. I can craft another unique. Maybe I could get my Ring of Starless Skies. Okay. Let's see with the latest updates. Oh, wow. We're doing so much more damage. Like, before that, we were not really struggling with, like, Torment 4 bosses. But I'll say that we weren't also doing the maximum damage, right? It was still taking me a while. The changes with the Opus definitely helped. Nice. But I still want to have, like, a shield that has, like, more ranks into Spear of Heavens. And I haven't gotten that so far. Which is an absolute robbery. This is a robbery. My shield doesn't even have 100% bonus damage. Yeah, you heard right. Sad. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Come on, give me that 10 billion hit. You know you want to. Nice. We're definitely getting the good damage from the Quox rune here with the 100% bonus every now and then. That's Red Sermon. Seal deals increased damage and gains the Death or Glory upgrade for free. What's the Death or Glory upgrade from Zeal? The Aradin is going to be very strong in the next season. That's for sure. I can give a skill 60% resource cost reduction with Path of the Penitent. And then you could play Crown of Lucian. Probably. Right? What is that, Dr. Pepper? No, that's the 007 first slide. The 007 first slide. Coke 00. 000. The black water. How can Orden be strong without castle? Because of the two-handed axe. Two-handed axe for the win. And generally because Orden is really nice for kill streaking. Because you don't have to cast, right? You're just going to be running around and you're going to get your stuff automatically going. Which means you'll pretty much always operate at full kill streak. Which is going to give you more experience while leveling and going to make it, easier than ever. I mean, how can any paladin be strong without castle? How can any paladin be strong without castle? Think about it. So this time, don't stand where he clashes his arms together. And don't get mashed into potatoes. Nice. They don't need castle. Well, that's what we're exactly going to do. Before the new season releases, before season 12 comes out. We're pretty much going to have to create a Spear of Heaven build. Because I still like the Spear of Heavens as my favorite skill. So we're going to have to create a Spear of Heaven build that does not require a castle. And still does fantastic damage. And that's going to be my goal. To create said build. Gotta work without castle. And I gotta work with like minimal equipment already. And if we succeed in that regard, then we're good to go. And right now, castle's a bit like the old Vicious Shield on the Spiritborn. It just makes every build good. Like, no matter how good your build actually is, you just have castle, so your build is good. Right? That's it. Your build was mid, but you have castle, so it stopped being mid. Usually during cola in the evening. I mean, it's Coke 00. It's the one without calories and without caffeine. So the black water, essentially. But I prefer my Pepsi. We don't have Pepsi here right now because it wasn't on sale. Buying drinks not on sale, way too expensive. The one advantage about owning a house, you can just buy copious amounts of supplies, right? As soon as anything goes on sale, wait, there's butter on sale. Let's buy 10 packages right now. Please tell me I'm not the only unreasonable person. Like, oh, drinks are on sale? Well, we're gonna just buy so much. And then hoard it. Because why wouldn't we? Oh, we get the storage space. Kaufland, Lidl. Oh, we have a store called Penny in Germany. That's what I go shop, where I go shopping. Why are you using the Invis chest? Is it so good? Okay, so the Invis chest, called Shroud of False Death, my friend, gives you, under the armor, +1 to all passives. Okay? +1 to all passives means these here. Each of these get +1. Which means that little thing already gives us 6% more damage. Then I get more armor, which gives me more damage as well. I get the more healing received, the allies heal, the fortify. I get another 6% more damage. I get another cooldown reduction. I get another 6% more damage here. Then we're another 7% over there. Then another 6 on here. That is another, you know. So the amount of bonus damage you're actually getting is mental, left, right, and center. We get a sword, but it's the wrong sword. And then we get a sword again. That could be the right sword. So let's see. We got twice the wrong sword. Ooh, that's schwierig. That's schwierig. I have so many questions. Okay, is there a last splash of information? Let me quickly check on the Diablo 4. Patch notes, patch notes, patch notes. There's sadly no secret information yet. Yeah. I'm like trying to see if the Diablo partner Discord has something for me. Developer live stream, no, nothing. Oh, by the way, Chan, did you hear that Crimson Desert doesn't have much hand holding, and a lot of people are mad about that because they need the hand holding. It's an interesting topic, you know, when a game decides to actually not be like, come here, son, I'll show you everything. What current runes do you have on this pally? Nothing special. So we play runes for a resource back because I struggle with that. So it's like Buck, Igni, and Lum. And then we also have Ahu and Quox. Ahu and Quox are essentially there that when I fill up the Quox due to lucky hitting, and I lucky hit a lot just by the Arbiter existing, right? So you see the Quox fills actually up quite decent. I could probably use a different one like cast core skills or whatever, but hey, it fills up decent enough, so I'm fine with that. Then we get like every now and then a booster skill where it finally goes Kajam. But yeah, it's more important for us that we get like the consistent resource back because I obviously always want to be full of resource. I can pretty much hold down my hammer button. That's great to me. Yeah, I feel like people often forget that the concept of yellow paint didn't exist back in the days. I mean, sure, there's always been a certain level of onboarding and tutorial in games, but a lot of them have like let you figure it out yourself. And if you can't figure it out yourself, then, well, you better go ask a friend or you're screwed. Because the game ain't gonna help you. Then you obviously have games like God of War or something where you carry around a hat and the hat tells you things before you even have to think, right? It can be good at times, but sometimes also very patronizing. It'd be so lovely. I mean, you actually have to listen to the game and read clues, right? You know, the forgotten art of actually playing the game. This is often what people miss, right? Due to a certain amount of assistance from a game, due to a certain amount of hand-holding and really coddling you, people often forget to actually play games, right? You pick up a quest, the quest shows you a quest marker, you go to that location, and then you do the quest. But, I mean, like, imagine a quest vendor actually telling you where something is, and then you don't get a quest marker, and you actually would have to read the quest description to understand what you're supposed to do. The way how it used to be, I think, very, very back also in World of Warcraft Classic. if I remember correctly, where it just told you, hey, go to the Stranglethorn strands. There you might find tigers that give you teeth. And you're like, but where are the strands? I'm a Stranglethorn. I don't know. And there's dinosaurs. And they're level 36 and I'm level 31. And it's super scary. They're orange. And there's that one elite dinosaur. And he's going to eat me. But, Jesus. Why would there be texting quests? Just accept and there's a marker. Exactly, Spawn. Who needs text when you just get a marker? There's another interesting feature that's coming more and more to adventure games. And I would like to know how you enjoy that feature, guys. So there's a feature coming that has been in Where Winds Meet, okay? So we got the developer update now here in 8 minutes. We're super close. Let me get this done, and then let's talk about this for a second. So there's a feature in Where Winds Meet where you can turn forward a dialogue, a cutscene. So it's not skipping the cutscene, it's just a fast forward, right? And you can essentially hold the fast forward button, and it fast forwards you through a cutscene. I love that in Where Winds Meet because there are just slow moments in cutscenes that are too slow and annoying, right? And I anyways watch everything on 2x speed, so I need this. But people are actually getting offended, and you know why they are getting offended? Because the voice actors are not getting the respect they deserve. And I'm like, do you not have any other problems? You know, I'm sorry if I don't want to watch a very slow scene in the very slow pace when my brain is already 10 steps further because my ADHD tells me that we gotta fucking run, okay? Then I would like to please 2x this cutscene, but I don't want to skip it. You wouldn't like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 if you want quest markers. Gaming Trucker, I didn't like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for a whole slew of other reasons. Whole slew of other reasons. There was enough to not like already. Actually, never finished it. Had to stop like halfway through. Everybody hells us. Nope, never. We got the Diablo Hell Beats chat. And now disable the timer because we're 6 hours, 24 minutes in. I've skipped. No, I don't skip cutscenes per se because I do like to watch cutscenes in games, especially when they're relevant for the story. What I hate is like cutscenes that are dialogue between people, okay? And the people are talking very slow. It's like, oh, what did you have for breakfast? Oh, I had pancakes yesterday. Wow, that's fantastic. You had... Like, I'm sorry. I need that in 2x speed. Right? It's nice to hear the story about your pancakes, but, you know, yada yada. Give me a bit more. Give me a bit more oomph. I think Diablo 4 is the best of the Diablo series. I mean, Diablo 4 is the only Diablo that I have put this amount of time in, sir. So it's not that I think all the other Diablos are bad, but it's just the one Diablo that makes me the happiest to play over and over again. Right? So is Diablo 4 the best in the Diablo series? For me personally, yes. Simply because it gives me the most joy. I like Diablo 2. I also like Diablo 3, but I just don't want to play them constantly. I don't want to play them every season. I beat them. I played some seasons. I had some fun. But grinding them? No. No. I mean, I just played Diablo 2 again. And I brought Diablo 2 all the way to Hell difficulty with a Warlock. And it was a great experience, right? I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm done then. There was an online test of an old school a few days ago where they didn't lead you around and there were no guides. Out of the 300 people who played it, only 2 people were able to finish it. Well, I would say if you give our generation, so I would say the 35 to 50 year olds, if you give them one of the old school games, they can get used to it again. But if you give younger people, like the younger generation, currently like the 15 to 25 year olds, if you would give them one of the old school games, they would really struggle at first. It's something to get used to, certainly, to the no yellow paint playstyle. I will say that yellow paint can be good. Hand holding can be good if it's done in a subtle way, right? I mean, there are simple things like Elden Ring, where in a dungeon, in a maze, you actually have to follow the torches on the right side of the wall, and you finish the dungeon. But if you stick to the left side of the wall, and if you go where the torches are not lit, it's going to take you longer. Now, that's some kind of hand holding that I can get behind, because it's an environmental clue that you have to pick out that then improves your gameplay experience. You still have to actively search for it though, right? You have to be like, okay, I noticed there are torches or lanterns or whatever, right? And I gotta understand that that potentially means something, and then I gotta follow up on that hunch that this could actually lead me somewhere. Paragon points. Jason, all good, don't you worry. Do you think they will add the Warlock before the expansion comes out? Nope. I mean, I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. But I get it on good authority that that's most likely not going to happen. Now, please, chat, please let me be wrong and the information that I got myself, right? That would be great. But it sadly doesn't look like that. You remember it would take months to finish a game? Some old school games were also just bad, fatty, right? I mean, sure, old school games were partially good because of the way how they were made, but some were also just plain bad. Will we see the leaked IGN video now? No, but IGN will probably post their leaked video today too. And we will post our own Warlock video as well. Okay, Diablo IV Warlock incoming. I got my notepad ready. I'm gonna crank the sound up. If it's too loud, tell me. If it's too quiet, tell me too.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season 12 Developer Update stream and the Warlock Deep Dive. My name is Marcus Kretz. I'm a community manager here at Blizzard Entertainment, and we've got a jam-packed show for you today. But first things first, Twitch drops are live. Watch any eligible channel on the Diablo IV category, and you can grab this Omen's Glimpse wand cosmetic for 30 minutes. And if you watch for 1 hour, you can earn the Siphon of Malefaction Scythe cosmetic.
Just a little louder? Made him louder.
Now, we've got a lot to share today as we dive into the makeup, development, and skills of the Warlock class. And then on the second half of the stream, we're going to be talking about everything coming with our upcoming season launching on March 11th. Very, very exciting. But I want to recap to everyone,
said March 11th,
we
but
do
it's
have
March
the Lord
10th.
of Hatred expansion arriving on April 28th. To take you through everything coming there, we've got this handy infographic. Lord of Hatred brings an epic new campaign. We'll have 2 new classes with the Paladin and the Warlock. There's going to be a whole new region with Skobos. There's going to be massive system overhauls and an expanded endgame. So there's a ton to check out there on April 28th when Lord of Hatred arrives. But without any further ado, we have a fantastic video to share with you that goes over everything coming with this dark, dark class, the Warlock. Take it away.
In development, not
Hey
final.
everyone, thanks for joining us for the official Warlock Deep Dive. We're excited to get into the details, including some backstory, their visual and archetype design, and mechanics. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, I'm JP Reinmiller, Associate Art Director for Diablo IV, and I'm really excited to be here sharing more about the Warlock, its story, and the visual design that brings it to life. When we started talking about the Warlock, the very first thing we aligned on was that this character stands fully unleashed at the height of their strength. Warlock is not a clean hero, not someone who's throwing fireballs from a safe distance and walking away spotless, but rather a dark caster who's made a very conscious decision to use demons as tools. The Warlock emerges from the shadows as a practitioner of forbidden arts, shaped by the dark legacy of the Vizrai, haunted by demons, burdened with infernal insight, and feared by pretty much everyone. They have a presence about them that takes over the room. They've been through so much and have so much power that you both want to run with them and are scared of them. They've come from a really corrupt history. They've seen hell up close. And because of that, the way they summon demons isn't elegant or ceremonial. It's violent. You're ripping something out of hell against its will and forcing it into sanctuary. You don't always know what you might get, and that struggle between this dark evil and the hero you are is core to the fantasy. What I love about the Warlock is that they sit right on that line between hero and something a little more dangerous. They're trying to save sanctuary, but they're willing to do things that no one else will. There's no regret about collateral damage. It's very much, I don't have a choice. This has to be done. And we wanted that to come through not just in the spells, but in how they move, how they stand, how they occupy space. They can take a hit and hit back in ways we've never done before in the Diablo game. That's really the heart of the class. You're asserting dominance over hell itself, and everything about the Warlock, narratively, visually, and mechanically, reinforces that idea. When we were figuring out the visual direction for the Warlock, we knew pretty early on we didn't want them to feel like a traditional fantasy caster. No flowing robes, no pristine silhouettes, no fancy elegance. The touchstones we kept coming back to were rebellion and metal. That feeling of someone who's been through hell, literally, and came back changed by it. Visually, we wanted the Warlock to feel intimidating. To be honest, a lot of that inspiration comes from metal music culture. It's loud and aggressive, and that idea translated really naturally into how the Warlock moves, how they cast, how they carry themselves. This is someone who's walked the edge for a long time. Like if someone microdosed soul shards until they found the right amount. So we leaned into the color vibe of working in a machine shop and having the oil and dirt on you. There's grit in the materials, texture in the surfaces, and weight in the way everything hangs off the body. Nothing feels ornamental for ornament's sake. They're not trying to look heroic. They look the way they do because that's what surviving hell does to you. Everything visually is there to support that story. Layered atop this is a visual design where strong demonic colors of VFX intertwine with physical motion that sets the stage for their lore as a caster who bends demons and infernal forces to their will, giving the class an otherworldly presence. There's a unique aspect to how we crafted this hero. Character art was a huge part of this class from the beginning. With so many assets needed to be created for the demons, we had to work closely as a feature team to pair all the visual elements of VFX, animation, and character art to help make the demons feel a part of the class in a way that succinctly flowed through the Warlock's visual design. With a balanced approach to animation and VFX, the demonology, shadow, and fire bring that raw, unfiltered power to life in the Warlock. Every moment is deliberate, heavy, and echoes the physical toll of wielding hell's energy.
The wall he just
When
summoned.
you cast, you're forcing something into existence, and the visuals match that intensity. Our effects team went all in to make Warlock feel unique, with a strong identity rooted in danger. Summoning demons is an eruption of hell-forged energy, fire, and twisted light. We wanted the VFX to accentuate the animation with a focus on feel and movement. That's why when you see the skills, they are crafted with aggressive shapes and relentless motion. Whether it's tearing open a portal or binding a demon, you always get a sense of chaos barely held in check, and the battlefield transforms with every cast.
But that black rune you summon is crazy.
Warlock is a willpower-based class, focused on dominating the battlefield.
Oh, willpower.
They use two different resources. Wrath to bring chaotic destruction, and dominance to summon powerful demons. To define the Warlock as a class, we focus on what it will empower players to do and how they will interact with the world. First, you create. You're constantly bringing things into the world. Demons, demon parts, manifestations of hell. For example, you might command Fallen to path through the environment. Or you might block off areas with Wall of Agony,
Wall of
actively
Agony is
shaping
killer.
the battlefield with your summoned creations. Then you control. A lot of your power comes from deciding where those demons go, how long they stay alive, and what state they're in. You're controlling the battlefield by positioning
Dude, those
commanding
fire
demons
moths.
or locking down enemies. This is where Warlock is really able to flex its willpower and feel a sense of deliberate domination. You could order the Tortured Wretch to taunt foes into reckless attacks, or direct the Profane Sentinel to blast your chosen target. Every action is an announcement
you can
of
pretty
your
much taunt
authority
them and
over
then
the
fire
chaos
spell.
you've summoned. And finally, you combo. Almost nothing exists in isolation. You're encouraged to chain interactions, summon something, modify it, consume it, detonate it, or use it to empower the next action. The system rewards you for thinking a step ahead. Kill both enemies and demons swiftly with bombardment, fueling Sigil of Summons to unleash the next wave of demons. What's important is that these layers feed into each other. Creating gives you options. Control lets you shape those options, and comboing turns them into a payoff. So the Warlock isn't just executing a single fixed rotation. It's about building a small ecosystem in combat, and then deciding how aggressively or how cleverly you want to collapse it.
Okay.
The core idea behind Soul Shards is really about transformation, saying, I'm not just summoning demons anymore, I'm actually incorporating hell into myself. With the Soul Shard system, you fuse a demon straight into your body.
Okay.
Picking a Soul Shard is the rulebook for everything you do in-game, shaping your powers and how you play from the ground up. You choose from 4 primary shards. Each shard represents a fundamentally different playstyle direction, mutating your character by stealing powers from hell and your bound demon. Each primary shard does 2 major things. First, it grants a transformative playstyle passive that alters your core gameplay loop. How
Okay.
you summon demons, how you control them, and how you chain effects together. Second, it binds a specific demon pet to you, directly tied to the shard's identity. Within each primary shard, you then select one of 3 fragment sub-options. Fragments act as specialization layers. They don't change what the shard is, but they absolutely change how it behaves, what you prioritize, what resources you lean on, and how your abilities interact. The result is that the shards open up new and unique transformative options for how you interact with the world and your demons.
Like the
When you
oath
see
from
a Warlock
Paladin,
in
just
action,
different.
you can tell what they chose, not because of a tooltip, but because of how their gameplay unfolds.
Demon form?
One of the big pillars of the Warlock is that although you're a summoner of hell, these entities are not behaving like conventional pets. Most summons are temporary. Warlocks brutally discard them once they have served their purpose. But with a Soul Shard, you choose to persistently bind one of 4 powerful demons to supercharge your playstyle. With Legion, the focus is on biological demon generation. This demon specializes in spawning physical demonic bodies into the world. Mechanically, that gives you more entities to control, reposition, and chain together, which supports builds that scale through volume and chaotic pressure. Here you have the demon Agram, who embodies this chaotic approach. Using its Spit command, Agram can unleash corrosive projectiles across the battlefield that burst into smaller demons on impact. As you command Agram and other lesser demons, their deaths fuel your power to summon greater demons. Every spawned lesser demon serves as a resource, amplifying your summoning potential and enabling more dramatic, high-impact plays. The system encourages you to continuously generate, sacrifice, and leverage these demonic minions, creating a feedback loop where the chaos you unleash becomes the fuel for even more formidable monsters to join your legion. Vanguard shifts the system towards mobility and frontline presence. The fiery steed Abodian
You can ride the
functions as an
Hellhound.
aggressive, speedy means of closing gaps. It's designed for players who want to push forward, create openings, and apply pressure through motion. With Abodian's charge, the Warlock surges across the battlefield in a blaze of hellfire, pulling foes along and instantly repositioning for the next attack. Mastermind moves things in a more control-oriented
Yeah,
direction.
Mastermind is Shadow.
The devouring shadow demon Lawlish undermines your enemies and attacks on your command. It favors players who enjoy planning ahead and creating layered outcomes.
Oh, this is better than
Executing
Necreus.
Lawlish's Terror Realm consumes foes while cloaking the Warlock in shadow form, allowing you to remain hidden while issuing direct commands to your abyssal demons. This devastating maneuver lets you orchestrate surprise assaults, manipulating enemy placement and inflicting terror. The synergy between shadow form and abyss demon control turns the battlefield into your personal chessboard. Ritualist is deliberately different. This demon exists primarily as a sacrificial resource. You're siphoning power from it to generate bursts of strength, trading an offensive pet for spikes in your damage and efficiency. When you channel the might of Valak, you're tapping into a wellspring of forbidden magic. By draining Valak's essence, you can unleash empowered spell combos, like trapping enemies in shadowy confinement with Dark Prison before detonating the battlefield with Hell Fractures. Valak's unique bond supercharges your occult, hellfire, and abyss abilities, making every cast more devastating
all
and
three.
allowing your warlock to bend the materials of hell to their will in moments of explosive power. Hopefully you can see how picking your bound demon is more than just window dressing. It's the linchpin that turns every fight into your personal stage.
What sets the Warlock apart is the sheer freedom you have to define your power. There are countless ways to customize your skills, and
Okay,
every
show us some
level
skill tree.
unlocks new options that let you reshape your build on the fly. Many of the Warlock's most iconic abilities don't just have a single expression. They can be radically reshaped through variants that change how the power manifests in combat. Each variant pushes the ability in a distinct direction, letting you lean into overwhelming chaos, precise command, or personal dominance. Whether you're amplifying demonic force, directing it with intent, or consuming it to become the weapon yourself, these variants ensure that every major summon reflects your chosen playstyle and reinforces how you want your Warlock to engage in the battlefield. Let's
That's the
dive right
Fire,
into the
Flames, and
Warlock
Shadow.
skill variants. Rampage. You unleash a rampaging demon brute onto the battlefield, a living engine of chaos that smashes through anything unlucky enough to stand in its way. Abyssal Titan. The demon brute becomes an abyssal titan, larger and imbued with the shadows of hell. You may directly order this brute to perform devastating leap attacks. Demonic Smash. You consume the brute's power, gaining demon form and allowing you yourself to jump into the battlefield.
Uh-huh.
Sigil of Summons. Perform occult rituals to summon additional demons. Customize how you perform this ritual and what comes out. Summon Succubus. Summon 2 greater succubi that inflict terrible, terrible shadow damage. Summon Hellworm. Summon a Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning, summoning even more demons. Fiend of Abaddon. You summon a towering demon juggernaut, wielding a massive hell-forged greatsword that cleaves through the battlefield in unstoppable arcs of destruction. Abyssal Colossus. You may now order the Fiend to perform an enormous 2-fisted smash that pulls in enemies.
But in Shadow form.
Vanguard of Flames. This Fiend is now bound directly to you, moving
walk
with
through.
you and allowing you to charge into battle with it. This is especially cool with the Rampage Demonic Smash
Yeah.
variant, since you can leap yourself with this Fiend attached to you. We're so excited for all of you to shape your Warlock playstyle
That's
with your
crazy.
own devastating abilities and unique variants. The options are as dynamic as they are powerful. Dive deep and discover the combinations that unleash your true potential. That wraps up our Warlock deep dive for now. Thank you to our incredible community for your ongoing passion and
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
I'm definitely in
Your
for it.
excitement and feedback have helped shape every step of our journey. And we can't wait to see how you make the Warlock's power your own.
Good presentation.
There you have it, the Warlock. Hot damn, that looks amazing. And who better to get into everything than Colin and Bjorn? Welcome back to the stream.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hell yeah, so first things first, I gotta ask you guys, why the Warlock?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So, Lord of Hatred as an expansion has this core theme of sort of heaven versus hell.
I want the Mephisto
Also, the sort
statue.
of duality of old versus new. There's going to be a lot of returning things that you're going to see from older games, like some of the monsters you might have seen, as well as like new things like the Warlock. So, we felt like when we wanted to sort of deliver two classes in this expansion, we felt what better way to sort of embody this idea than like the Holy Paladin who walks the light. Very straightforward, very good, very simple. I just want to blast demons with holy energy. And then we wanted that sort of contrast with the Warlock, who's sort of this edgelord,
Chase,
brutal
it's not really a
demonologist, uses hell's power,
Because
draws
most
on
minions are
demons
temporary.
from the
They don't
burning
have
hells.
life.
So we felt like that really just sort of, that contrast set each other apart, like these classes in a really cool way. And I think, from the class design side, Bjorn, you designed the class. I think when we looked at it, what were some of the things we're looking for in terms of like carving out a new place in our roster? This is our 8th class now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When we're looking at kind of what classes can do, we're taking into account like each of their different play styles. And so with the Warlock, what we were really kind of honed in on was the ideas of like different sort of like summon-based gameplay that we hadn't explored as deeply yet. So with the Warlock, for instance, it's less about kind of the other things that you've seen before, maybe of like having like large standing armies that are constantly fighting for you. And instead it's kind of exploring, for instance, like temporary summons that you're going to kill off, or having like one big summon that you're like really completely in control of, while also sort of exploring how that affects the Warlock when they're doing that, like how they're affected by the shadows or how they take on the form of demon form.
Yeah, like I loved it in the video how like the Warlock is not standing at the back, like they're right in there flinging demons, like a little meat trebuchets. Like it's pretty awesome to
Warlock
see.
must have
And
good
I mean,
area
there's so
skills
much to chew
to
on
not die.
with the class. Like, what are you both most excited for players to get into?
Yeah, I think one thing on that, because I love what you said about the Warlock being in the front, something we talked a lot about on sort of the broader roster is that this is a caster and a summoner, but we wanted it to feel different to like the Sorcerer and the Necromancer. So something we talked a lot about internally is like if they all got into a bar fight, like the Warlock would just like kick all their asses, right? And he's like ripped, he has a 6-pack, and he's there to beat some ass. So, but in terms of what we're really excited about, I'd say like one of the things that we didn't really touch on that I'm very excited about is the sort of new mechanic the Warlock introduces and can take advantage of, and that's demon form. So demon form actually allows you yourself to turn into a demon and absorb some of the power of the demons that you can summon. You saw that on Rampage, where you can actually like leap yourself into battle. You just crush that demon, put it inside of you, and it lets you leap. Another is like you saw maybe in the video where you rip this demon head out of the ground and it starts spewing fire. When you're the demon, you actually just get to spew this fire from your mouth itself. And we just think that that's such a badass way to play. And I think one of the really cool things about demon form itself is that the ultimate metamorphosis allows you to swap back and forth between human form and demon form. And what that means is you actually get sort of like almost like 10 different abilities you get to play with, because demon form is going to replace a bunch of your abilities. I know that you spent a lot of time like thinking about how we want this to play out.
Yeah. I mean, and even talking to kind of what you were saying of kind of leveraging the new systems kind of that we have. So specifically the new skill tree, having all the new variants in it too, kind of let us really explore that. So for instance, like all of those Archfiend skills you're talking about, they all have a version where it's like, now I want to do the thing as a demon myself. So like that's always a thing you can say, like, hey, I just want the Infernal Breath. Like, I want to be able to breathe fire. You can always just take that variant and put it into your skill kit. But kind of, as you're saying, Metamorphosis is that additional option of like, hey, maybe I always want to be able to summon the fire-breathing head, but then Metamorphosis lets me essentially dynamically swap which variant I have equipped mid-fight and sort of get that additional skill bar, essentially, which I think is a really neat kind of way to let you build, kind of whether or not you want to go all in on the Fire Breath or if you wanted to swap back and forth between summoning and doing it yourself, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's really like a unique playstyle in that you summon a bunch of these Archfiend, greater demons, and swap in a demon form to really build back up dominance to use them yourself. I think like it also goes back to that like duality that we've been talking about for Lord of Hatred. The Warlock itself is like a pretty crunchy and complicated class in contrast to the Paladin, right? The Paladin's very straightforward, whereas the Warlock is much more sort of, I don't want to say intelligent, but a little bit more methodical, and there's a lot to get into on the build crafting
mechanically
system side
similar
that
to
we're
the
really
Paladin.
excited to sort of
have everyone
Just
play with.
cooler.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that like I liked what you said about like how the warlock can embody demons. It's like the warlock's not going to tell the demons to do anything he's not willing to do himself. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
willing to get in there and get dirty.
Yeah, and it really, like, you get to pick, like, do I want to just do it myself, or do I want to tell the demons explicitly? You saw that with Shadow Form, where, like, the Warlock snuck up on a group of enemies. They didn't even know he was there and blew them all up. Or you can really lean into that, like, chaos of just summoning, you know, hundreds of demons that are all going to die and feel your energy.
Yeah, it's a super intense class fantasy, and Bjorn, I like what you said about the skill variants. Like, it opens up a ton of different possibilities. You know, with those possibilities, it also brings the question of like, how are you and the team going to approach class balance as the Lord of Hatred expansion comes out? There's going to be a ton to work with.
Yeah, I mean, we want it to be fun, so it's going to tear shit up. But I think, really balance, like the name implies, it's a sliding scale. And we use this approach even in seasons when we do collectible powers or anything new. We know there's a learning curve to, learning a new class or anything in the game. So we generally err on the side of it being a little bit stronger to sort of make up for that learning curve. But we also, just on the side of like with anything new, we want to make sure that there's a lot of different ways to play the class.
Class balance,
so we're going to
probably
generally
with,
make sure that
Lord of
no
Hatred,
matter what
more
option you
class
pick, you're
balance.
going to feel powerful, you're going to feel badass and awesome. So we're going to do our best to make sure that it's not completely destroying the game. But what we care about a lot is that the class feels powerful, and you're going to have a lot of different options that are going to feel crunchy and cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to know that there's going to be a class with like a really high ceiling that you can explore and get to know and really min-max to the max when it comes out. So that's awesome. So Colin, Bjorn, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here. We are going to have Colin and Bjorn come back towards the end of the stream for Q&A. So if you have any questions for Colin and Bjorn, please drop them into Twitch chat. We'll be collecting those and saving them for later. But we do want to share with you,
100% be busted. There's
before
no
Lord of
question.
Hatred comes out, we actually do have some extra bonuses if you pre-order that are themed around the Warlock, which is really cool. So coming on March 11th with the 2.6.0 patch update, we're actually going to have a Warlock back trophy. This is reactive, by the way, and a town portal, which is pretty badass. Portal just wants a hug. And then when Lord of Hatred actually launches on
That
April
portal
28th,
is
we'll
fire.
also have this Warlock skin that you'll get as well from the pre-purchase of the expansion. So those back trophy and town portal are going to be there on March 11th, and then more to come when Lord of Hatred launches, which is pretty awesome. And that is the Infernal Apostle Warlock cosmetic bundle. That is a chunky mouthful. That's a lot, yeah.
Chunky mouthful.
Yeah, so you can grab that. So we will say goodbye to Colin and Bjorn, and we're going to bring in some new people to check out everything coming with our next season. So hang tight.
But gameplay looked slow. It was a presentation. They always look slow. I mean, Path of Exile in their latest presentation made their classes look shit because of how they presented it. You know, it was like crazy how like terrible it actually looked. Oh, the town portal you can use. File. The town portal will be able to use right away. Warlock's cool, a lot of potential. Oh, Warlock looks fantastic, honestly. For me, right now, there's no questions asked. The Warlock is going to be good to play. It's different from what we have, which is important, right? If Warlock was just something indifferent, something there, yes, it is somewhat similar to the Necro. However, the Necro has fixed minions, right? They have life bars, they can die, they can get attacked, that kind of stuff. The Necro minions are not like that. The Necro minions are just there. They exist, they do things, they could taunt, partially. But it's not like I don't have to care about my minions' life, probably my minions' attack speed or anything like that. Right, I'll boost my own Warlock's attack speed, damage, and so on. And that is going to what influences then my overall going forward, right? So it is actually a new class playstyle. It is something that wants to be in the thick of it, but that's still a caster, and that actually has the tools to be in the thick of it, which is fairly interesting in my eyes. They shown the Necro skill tree. Time zones node always releases like German evening, 7-8 p.m. and American morning. Unless they kind of adapted for the Hong Kong market because they released Diablo over in the East as well. We'll have to see.
Everybody, welcome back. And now we're going to get into everything coming with our upcoming season. We've got a few familiar faces here. Aislinn, welcome back to the stream.
Good to be here.
Dan Tangway in the flesh. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, excited for it.
Yeah.
It might be
great.
saying 11th
So
grade Jeopardy.
where we last left
Like,
off
could
with
at
the
least-
players,
it's the only thing
we
that makes
had the
sense.
PTR. You know, they know that kill streaks are coming. We've
Right.
got bloodied items.
Yep.
There's a lot to chew on in the season, but there's also a lot more that we didn't share. So do you want to walk us through
Okay,
what they can expect?
Please tell
Yeah,
me.
so before we jump into a video, let me just kind of tee up kind of our thinking behind this season. So, you know, when we looked at the roadmap for Lord of Hatred, you know, we saw that we really needed to develop kind of a shorter season, a punchy season. And so, you know, we rifled through some ideas, and then we remembered that we built a pretty strong foundation from our previous season. So we needed to build on top of that. And then when the team came up with this particular idea, and it just felt really novel, and it just fit really well. So without further ado, I guess, let's check out the video, and then we can talk more about it.
Yeah.
Please tell me you get something better than just kill streaks.
Welcome, everyone, to our Season of Slaughter developer update. I'm Josh Brinson, and today I'm excited to share some updates coming to Diablo IV. As we gear up for the release of Lord of Hatred, we're exploring new systems that push Diablo into fresh, unexpected territory, embracing innovation while staying true to its dark roots. While this may be a shorter season, Season of Slaughter encourages experimentation, leans into mystery, and leaves room for surprises that are best uncovered by players through their own journey. For the first time in Diablo history, you can embrace your inner demon and transform into one of Hell's fiercest monstrosities, the Butcher. Let's get
Okay.
right into it.
Starting in Guild Ku on the seasonal realm, you will undertake the quest, A Taste of Power, and uncover the dark path to becoming the Butcher. As the Butcher, you wield the brutal powers that inspire terror, turning them upon your enemies. Cleave through monsters, charge fearlessly into the fray, and
Okay.
unleash a hell of hooks to drag your prey to a bloody end. We are thrilled for you to play as the Butcher and dive into everything Season of Slaughter brings. Whether you are chasing faster progression or craving fresh ways to tear through Sanctuary, we are excited for your journey. While we share what lies ahead, not every secret is meant to be revealed. Some surprises are waiting for those bold enough to find them in-game.
Damn.
There are several paths to becoming the King of Slaughter. This season introduces a new earnable item called Meaty Offerings. These can be used on the Shrine of Slaughter, a new event available in Helltides, transforming you into the Butcher. This activation triggers a brutal onslaught, drawing hordes of enemies to you, each kill feeding your gory rewards. Helltide isn't the only place to prove your dominance. In the Fields of Hatred, the Ceremony of Slaughter ignites every 10 minutes, transforming the battlefield into a race for supremacy. Every kill fuels your savagery, pushing you closer to ultimate power. When the ritual concludes, a Butcher's idol rises for the fiercest contender. Take it, become the Butcher, and turn the entire area into your personal killing ground. Want the full Butcher fantasy on demand? Step into Slaughterhouses, a new activity that keeps you as the Butcher for the entire run. From the first step to the final blow, you're unleashed to do what he does best: slaughter everything in sight. There's more to reveal, but some surprises are best left for players to uncover in-game.
Okay.
This
Damn.
season introduces kill streaks. The kill streak system reshapes combat across Diablo
Slaughterhouses,
4
it's
by
kinda funny.
rewarding rapid and consecutive kills. Slaying multiple enemies quickly triggers a kill streak, with a display above the skills bar to track the running kill count. While kill streaks gradually decay over time, they can be refreshed through any kill or by dealing damage, encouraging fast, aggressive play. Kill streaks escalate through 5 tiers.
They made
Kill
the
streak,
time it goes down
Carnage,
slower.
Devastation, Bloodbath, and Massacre, each determined by the total number of enemies slain during a streak. When the timer runs out, the streak ends and rewards you with experience and seasonal reputation based on your total kills. But beware, falling in battle immediately ends your kill streak, leaving you with no rewards, cutting your momentum short, and marking a swift, shameful finish.
Season, it's a small season.
Bloodied items introduce a new item quality
That's why it's
that
so
empowers
gimmicky.
your gear with ferocious,
Power
kill
part.
streak-driven potential. Any item that can drop has a chance to appear as bloodied, and this tag is non-exclusive, allowing items to be both ancestral and bloodied. Their unique affixes scale directly with your killstreak performance and fall into 3 categories.
Oh.
Rampage, stat-based boosts for your armor pieces based off your killstreak. Feast, grants bonuses tied to kills within your streak, such as resetting a random cooldown every 40 kills.
It's terrible.
Hunger, enhances jewelry by improving reward drops that scale with killstreak tiers. As with all affixes in Diablo IV, bloodied affixes stack, enabling
That
even
was a
greater power
slaughterhouse
as your
vendor,
carnage
chat.
climbs. Bloodied sigils push your brutality even further, unlocking more intense challenges and greater rewards as you brave the rising heat of combat. Nightmare dungeons, infernal hordes, and lair bosses can be empowered with these sigils.
Yep.
Bloodied
Tier 5
sigils
difficulty.
introduce the bloodied affix, Relentless Butcher, causing the infamous butcher to hunt you without end, returning instantly each time he falls. But be warned, the Relentless Butcher is an addition to the dungeons, not a replacement for anything that might already be lurking within. These powerful keys only become available in Torment tiers. Bloodied sigils are embedded with challenge and are about a Torment tier higher in difficulty than your current level.
Yep.
Using a bloodied sigil guarantees bloodied items and more, ensuring that the risk is met with fitting rewards.
Season of Slaughter introduces several new class generic uniques which amp up the carnage. The Wendigo brand unique ring increases your max health and your overall damage dealt, which scales with
Not
the
so
amount
good.
of kills you've earned in the last 30 to 60 seconds. Tear through your enemies and watch your kill streak soar. The Rust-Bitten Dirk unique dagger deals increased damage to isolated enemies, making it perfect for taking down lair bosses. The Thousand Eye Reaver one-handed axe grants ferocity while moving and increases your max ferocity. That ferocity then increases your movement speed per stack. If you want to rack up kills quickly and move fast, this is an item you'll want to keep an eye out for. All new uniques this season drop from the new Butcher Lair boss. Seek out his den of gore, snag these weapons, rack up your kill streaks,
Butcher
and let
Lair
the
boss?
blood pour.
Did I understand that correct?
In Season of Slaughter, you'll be able to fight against the Bloody Butcher, who enters the fray as a new layer boss in Torment difficulties. Defeat him for your best chance to earn any of the new uniques.
That's cool.
He also has a higher chance of dropping bloodied uniques, making his fearsome fight worth the effort. The Bloody Butcher is initially exclusive to the Seasonal Realm, but he will stay on as a permanent layer boss in both Eternal and Seasonal Realms after Season of Slaughter has
That's
ended.
great. Oh.
Doom, the Dark Ages, is coming to Diablo IV. Rip and tear your way through Sanctuary with new cosmetics inspired by the legendary Demon Slayer. And our most expansive free reliquary yet. Earn rewards like the Shield Saw cosmetic skin, Slayer's Flail, the Head of the Cyber Demon back trophy, and more.
There goes
Cut down
my money.
elites and champion monsters to earn Dark Ages currency and carve your path through the Doom, the Dark Ages event reliquary. Claim all rewards to unlock the Forsaken Gates town portal and leave your mark on Sanctuary. We'll also have threads fit for the Slayer in the in-game shop.
Extensive,
Mecha Dragon
not
Sirat.
expensive.
Cacodemon, the Cyclopean Cackle Pet.
Yes.
Gibbet, Souls of the Lost Pet. Rip and tear through the demon hordes in style.
Quench your blade's thirst and let the blood flow. Slaying your enemies with unrelenting ferocity is the name of the game. Ramp up the kill streaks and become the Butcher in Season of Slaughter. See you all in
Honestly, well
Sanctuary.
done theme. It's an extreme gimmicky theme, but a good theme.
There you have it, everybody. Season of Slaughter arrives on March 11th. We've got the Doom the Dark Ages Reliquary, We've got the Paladin free trial. It's going to be fantastic. And after all the years of torment, after all the devastation, we finally get to become the Butcher and actually dole out all that punishment onto our enemies. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, I can't wait to jump in for the season.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And I know this, the Butcher is going to be the seasonal component of it, but we do also have a lot of changes coming in, more evergreen changes coming in the season to kind of like help heighten some of those, activities that we played over and over. And I mean, Aislinn, I've heard you got some quality of life queued up. What can players expect this season?
Yeah, so of course you saw all the amazing stuff coming in Season 12, Season of Slaughter, but we also try to continuously update the game and make sure that it's better all the time.
Honestly,
and so we've got
filler
something that people
season.
have been asking for a while.
They
We
nailed
gathered
it.
all the locksmiths in Sanctuary and we opened all the doors in all the Nightmare dungeons. So you don't have to go and click on them anymore. You can just break right through them, or they're already open and you can just go through as quickly as you'd like. We also kind of changed the way that traversals work, like when you're climbing walls or like descending ladders and stuff like that. It now scales with your movement speed, so going through the world just feels a lot more natural based on your own personal movement speed. Oh gosh, what else is there? There's great things.
There's a ton coming. There's a ton coming. And I know.
Let's talk about the faster loading speeds.
That's right. We've got faster loading speeds just across all different loading screens. So even beyond your movement speed, the game is just going to, in general, feel a lot faster. So those are some fantastic quality of life improvements coming. But beyond that, we've also been making sure that we're taking a look at the tower.
Yeah.
So we really want to make sure that the tower is something that we continuously update, that we continuously make a lot better. We know it's still in beta, and because of that, it's getting tons of changes constantly every season.
Absolutely.
And so I wanted to just dive a little bit into that. So we've got exploit fixes. Like, for example, there was a way to extend the timer past 10 minutes. We don't want players doing that. There was a way to like kill enemies while you were still in the safe area.
What's
Don't
already
want players doing
showcased,
that,
in case
so
you
we
missed
fixed
it.
that.
We started the video.
We've got 5 new tile sets coming to the tower, so there's going to be lots of like cool new places you can explore.
season is
We're even
48
removing one
days.
of the tile sets because it
48.
was just like too narrow and kind of annoying to travel through in a competitive environment, so we didn't feel like it fit super well. And we've got 5 new bosses coming as well, which is really exciting. And we also took some time to make sure that the bosses were a little more
This is all for
balanced
the
with
tower.
one another. So you wouldn't go in and like fight a boss that had like way more HP or did like way more damage or anything. So they're a lot more balanced to kind of preserve the competitive integrity of the mode. And in addition, all the bosses hit a lot harder than they used to because we want to make sure that once you get to that end state, you're kind of having like an exhilarating battle to the finish, right? Instead of kind of a slog through like, oh, can I kill the boss in time? We'll see. Like, we don't want that kind of vibe. So yeah, those are some of the changes coming to the tower, but we also have some leaderboard changes.
Yeah,
coming
that's
to the tower,
right.
too.
So, obviously, Aislinn just covered a lot of the gameplay changes coming to the tower, but we saw a lot of your feedback on the leaderboards as well, and we spent some time improving those. So first,
Yeah, this is all just tower related. So if you're not interested in the tower, this is completely uninteresting.
scroll down and try and find where your name is if you're in the top 1,000. Next up is we built out a end of run UI, so you get a sense of where you're placing at the end of your run, so that if you want to go back and try again real quick, you can. And also, because he's a bit of a judgmental, I guess, master of the tower, the artificer is also leaving you notes.
Well,
And
someone's
those-
got to tell you how to like improve, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Artificer's there to help.
Artificer's
so
note, get
you-
good.
What's that?
Artificer's note, get good.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
A jerk.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of notes every end of run that you'll see that will hopefully help you improve your run. And then finally, we're just making the leaderboard easier to navigate. You've got a jump to me button, so you can go immediately down to.
The season is from the 11th or 10th until the 28th of April. That's it.
In addition to that, we actually wanted to tease a few things that were coming. I know we've implemented a lot for Season 12 at this point, but we've gotten a lot of feedback that I want to make sure that you're all aware that we're going to tackle in future seasons. So first up is that we are going to finally release some rewards. So in the upcoming season, we're going to have tower rewards, and that's going to reward you for advancing tiers within the tower. And I'm pretty excited about those. They're pretty cool. In addition, we're going to have leaderboard rank rewards. So you will get some really cool status symbols, you know, prestige items that you can show off if you manage to rank on the leaderboards. In addition to that, we are finally going to release our leaderboard build viewer. A lot of you have asked to be able to see the profile and the build of the person as they made the score, not what it is currently. So we take
Instead
a
of
snapshot, store it away, and now you
privating
can see that build information.
everything.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
just like super useful for like
Absolutely,
understanding how people
yeah.
are playing at a high level, or,
Yep.
or like, you know, even playing a specific skill. You can like look at that up.
Yep, absolutely. And then finally, we are also working on solo self-found. And so look forward to those things in the future.
It's funny, you read chat's mind, Dan. They were already commenting solo self-found, so you've...
Please.
Oh, they've been chanting that for months.
I would finally care about the leaderboard
Oh,
on
that's
solo
fantastic. Well, thank you for
self-found.
walking us through that,
Actually.
Dan. There's a ton coming in. We're really, really excited for it. And something I'm really excited to share with players as well. I know that a ton of people have been playing the Paladin in Season of Divine Intervention, but for those of you who have not yet purchased the Lord of Hatred expansion, we're actually going to have a Paladin free trial starting with on March 11th. You can play until level 25 on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation from March 11th to 18th. You'll be able to play the Paladin up to level 25, and if you pre-purchase the Lord of Hatred expansion following the trial, you'll actually be able to continue
People are
going
gonna
to
be mad
progression
because it's
on
only
that
25
same Paladin character
and for free.
that you used before, which is pretty great. So
It's so worth. The Paladin is seriously so fun. If you haven't had a chance to try it
Yeah,
yet,
25
now
is
is
just like
gonna
10
be the
minutes.
time.
Well, it's
Oh my
actually
God.
more like
Yeah,
a 30
amazing.
to 40 minutes at this
it's an
point.
absolute ton of fun.
They nerfed it a bit.
I'm also really excited because there's another thing players I feel like are always asking for. You're going to be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 patch starting on March 9th. So for for Battle.net, PlayStation, and Xbox, you'll be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 build on March 9th at 10 a.m. So then when it launches, you'll be able to jump right into the fun.
My internet is slow.
Pretty great.
I need it.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. We're now going to head into the Q&A portion of the stream. So hopefully you've been dropping your questions in Twitch chat. We're going to pull those, and we're also going to invite back Colin Feiner and the Bjorlock to join us for the Q&A. So hang tight. We're going to get them up here. So stay put. Thanks.
Well, this looks like a very good season now. Thing is, the Q&A is completely uninteresting, so we're gonna not listen to the Q&A. They never have anything mattering to say. There was some intriguing nuggets of knowledge in this stream. So we had, on top of the turn into the butcher, they showed this screen here. And they cost 150 what? Slaughter hearts, right? Chad? Slaughter hearts. Which means that in these slaughterhouses that you can go into, the new seasonal mechanic, the slaughterhouse, you earn a currency to then spend for bloodied items that could potentially roll as greater affixed. Right? That's kind of like the way how it works. It's not a random currency, sir. It's just like we know where we get it from doing the seasonal mechanic, from playing as the butcher and having fun. So at least we have that answered. And they still don't have anything. When we get the whole Warlock design, so the Warlock itself looks very interesting. What I wanted to see was the actual crystals, because they just went way too quick over them. They didn't give us a chance to read. So because you have this here, the 4 different soul stones. You have to choose between Legion, right? Vanguard, Mastermind, and a Ritualist. And each select a shard and a fragment as your passive skill. So you select a soul shard. Here, this is the Legion chart. Casting a greater demon skill increases lesser demon skill cast speed by 25 and cooldown rate for 10 seconds. When 50 of your lesser demons die, your next greater demon skill cast has no resource cost. Grants the summon Agrim skill. And then you can do Agrim now passively spawns a vile child lesser demon every second. Summoning a greater demon increases this spawn rate by 50% for 4 seconds, up to 150 additional stacks. Do not refresh this duration. Command Agrim no longer spews vile children and instead causes all of your lesser demons to explode. Okay. I think they're going to hover over the second fragment too, right? Yeah, they did. Okay. You are unstoppable as long as you have active lesser demons. When you would become crowd controlled, one of your lesser demons is sacrificed to prevent it. Well, that's cool. And lastly, evisceration fragment. While an enemy is eviscerated, that's a status effect that can be applied by demons, your summoned demons prioritize them and gain 50% movement speed. Demonology skills gain a 2% chance to eviscerate enemies that are already eviscerated. Eviscerated enemies instantly lose 20% of their bleeding life and then take bleeding damage over 12 seconds. Alright, sounds funny. And this was only the options for one soul shard, right? So every soul shard has 3 fragments. So each of these 4 playstyles has 3 different ways how to profit from said playstyle, right? Which is quite kind of cool. We get Mastermind, which is more Shadow related. And then what they have shown is that you can turn into a demon yourself, right? And that is with the Rampage skill, for example. So you have the Rampage skill here. The Rampage skill summons a demon, okay? This is the original Rampage skill. I mean, I will play Warlock on release anyways. That's for sure. There's no questions asked. Okay? Because it's the new class. So there was never an argument about that. Okay, let's wait for this here. So we got Rampage, and Rampage summons the demon, and the demon goes and hits things, right? So this is probably a greater demon and not a lesser demon. He has no life, though. He's still temporary, okay? It's a temporary summon chat that you can then sacrifice or whatsoever. So it's him, and he goes around and goes Rampage. But we could also go for the specialization. There's 3 specializations for the skill. That is then called Demonic Smash. But that's still Rampage. So the whole Rampage skill has 3 ways to be used, right? Has three ways to be played. And with Demonic Smash, you're still using the same skill, but you turn into a demon. Then we have Sigil of Summons, and Sigil of Summons gives you, like, makes more of the same summons, right? Or Sigil of Summons summons Succubus. Or it does summon a Hellworm that summons the same demons you summon.
A Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning even more demons.
What happens if you start summoning the big fiends? Does it summon them too? The Hellworm looks really cool. Like, that seems like a super nuke for a single target. So if I'm fighting against a boss, I will summon the Hellworm, I'll summon the Abyssal Fiend, I'll start spamming my basic skills, then I'll get Angrim out, or whatever his name was, and lastly I go for the ultimate for the big swingy demon, right? Because you have the big swingy demon here, the Vanguard, your Vanguard skill, right? And your Vanguard skill, the Fiend Abaddon, can either be summoned in a location, then he swings, or he can be summoned as a Shadow version. It's the Abyssal Shadow version, which does a Shadow Cleave as well, which probably is then more for the Mastermind build. And you can have it be a Flaming version too that pretty much sticks to your head. Okay, let's go to the live. If there's anything
It'd
interesting.
be like a little bit of a bit to learn that you have new skills. So that one is permanent, but that one is honed in on a very specific set of skills. Whereas then the variants of Metamorphosis, they undo the reworking of your skills, but then those become temporary versions of demon form that it gives you kind of a power up of like, now I'm the fire demon or now I'm the shadow demon. So it'll really come down to kind of how you choose to customize demon form as you make your build.
Very cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Infernal Cold 780 asks, what weapons will the Warlock use?
Sure. Yeah, broadly speaking, we're looking at sort of melee weapons. So you're going to be able to use daggers, flails, and then swords, axes, and maces of both one-hand and two-hand variety, and then your offhand focus.
Hell yeah.
You can use
Very nice.
daggers.
888 Reality. Does the leaderboard do...
Yeah, this is like uninteresting. If it can use a dagger, can it then use the new unique dagger they're introducing? Because we had the Wendigo Brand, right? And then we had the Thousand Eye Reaver. But we also had the Respite and Dirk. All stats, attack speed, deal 100% increase to isolated enemies. So I could use this on the Warlock 2, right? I mean, obviously the Warlock is going to have Warlock-specific class uniques that we haven't seen yet. Surprise, right? But it's going to come. Okay, that's nice. And then for Season 12, we're able to turn into the Butcher. We're able to do a new seasonal mechanic called Slaughterhouses. So that's also pretty nice. We have the standard kill streak mechanic. I think they really did a great job. I'm very pleased with what I see here. Yeah, to be honest, I don't understand why we got the Warlock reveal at this point. Because, like, if you wanted to pre-order, you already pre-ordered, so you don't need it. And if you haven't pre-ordered, like, waiting 2 more months isn't going to make you pre-order, right? So, yeah. Okay, they delayed the Season of Slaughter by 1 day. It's official now, ladies and gentlemen. It is on the 11th. I am beyond weirded out, but hey, it is what it is. Looks like Necro. It looks similar to the Necro, but it plays vastly different, and that's coming from someone who has played more than, I don't know, 800 hours of Necro, at least. So, yeah.
Loving care in Lord of Hatred. So regardless of like who you play, like you're gonna come into Lord of Hatred and be like, holy shit, there's a lot of awesome stuff here.
One really cool thing
They
is
show
that,
Blooded Vendor, yes,
for example, you think about
for
trample
the new
on the druid,
Slaughterhouse.
right, which charge through a bunch of enemies. It's the bear. The werewolf version actually leaps you. Like you can pick a leaping version of that.
Damn.
So and that's just like, oh, what shape-shifting form do I want to be? There's also a variant on top of that, which is like, okay, what do I
You're
want
gonna
my
get
trample
Necro
to
guides
do?
for
So
the new
there's just
season,
a
don't
ton of
worry.
stuff like that to really unpack and tons of permutations just within one skill.
Wow. Okay, you heard it here first, everybody. And I really like what you said too, Colin, about like how we're just kind of scratching the surface. Like we will have a whole other live stream to kick off before Lord of Hatred goes live. So we'll definitely have another spot to kind of get into all those details. But there is, like Colin said, a lot cooking for all the classes under the hood that we're really, really, really excited to share. So yeah, that's really excited. Thanks for sharing that. Noob Sauce Season. Are bloodied items exclusive to the season, or is it something that will persist in Eternal and also spawn into future seasons?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. So, as of right
And no
now,
country changes are
bloodied
for
items
next season,
are
not
only
for
for the
this.
season of Slaughter. However, this isn't the first time this type of feedback's come up. I think, a lot of folks want to be able to, use a lot of these cool seasonal items in future seasons. And so that's something we're actively working on right now, trying to figure out what's the best way to bring them back. And I think, once we get, Lord of Hatred out,
I still want to know
I
if we're
think
getting
we'll have
like
a lot
patch
of new
notes
tools to
for
be
season
able to do
12.
that.
Heck yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of tools that they're going to be able to chew on for that expansion. It's going to be really, really, really exciting. Justaria.
You were concerned that people left. The people that left were useless. I'm sorry. Okay, no, that was mean. Adam leaving was sad. Adam Jackson leaving was so-and-so. But a lot of the people that get let go were not good for the team. They were maybe good to start the game, but they weren't good for the development of the game, honestly. So some of these faces
Subpower. So
out
Dark
of the
Prison
window
is
is fine.
an area that will tether enemies into it, so you'll be able to lock down enemies with that. And then Brimstone are kind of these little mines that you leave around that'll explode when enemies get close to them.
Very cool. Thank you for that, Bjorn. Harris Mokhtar. Even if I'm playing range, does converting to Butcher convert playstyle to melee?
It will still convert you to a melee build. The Butcher, you know, he gets up there and he cleaves people and he screams fresh meat. So if you turn into the Butcher, that's the vibe you're going to have too. So I think we're really excited about the way the Butcher plays.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so much fun to just cleave through enemies. And he's also very burly and tough. So like, if you get up in melee, you're not really going to have to, like, typically, you're not going to have to worry too much about dying. There are...
I wonder how much more fun... Thanks. How much more fun the Butcher is going to be for leveling, right? Because we can obviously turn into the Butcher while we're leveling. That like, right? They have shown this, like, here as the element. You can turn into the Butcher, and it's part of the seasonal quest line. So I'd assume that even while you're doing the Helltide here, right, that we're going to be able to turn into the Butcher as soon as you get the item to turn into the Butcher. Like, you get this hard, right?
Transforming you into the Butcher.
Here we...
This season introduces a new earnable item.
Meaty Offering, Rare Butcher Token, a collection of body parts to offer at a Shrine of Slaughter found in Helltide. So the Shrine of Slaughters are found in Helltide, we get the heart, and then we turn.
Called Meaty Offerings. These can be...
By the way, I just confirmed, guys, we're getting Season 12 patch notes at the end. Ah. We already have them. Fuck yeah. Okay, goodbye the Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it all. So we get Gun the Butcher, Unleash the Kill Streak. We get all of that, right? This is everything explained. Very detailed, so we like that. We have the Kill Streak, the bloodied items, the slaughterhouses. If you want fantasy of playing the ultimate purveyor of human charcuterie, slaughterhouse is the new perfect activity for you. Step into grisly gameplay, which keeps the Butcher for the entire run. From the first step to the final blow, you've unleashed upon your enemies to do one thing: slaughter everything in sight. And then you'll get Slaughter. Unlock Slaughter with Bloody Sigils. That we had that. We have the Butcher. Thank you very much. New unique items. They're nothing new, so nothing changed about them. They're the same unique items that we had before. Paladin free trial is obviously good. Then we have Doom the Dark Ages, which this is all free, by the way, chat. So this is for free. But there will obviously be also Doomed paid packages, right? Purchase Iconic Armor in the in-game shop, and I'm going to buy that for sure. New items from Season Rank. Okay, Season of Slaughter. We get the bow. We get the Battle Pass. We have the... To read the full patch notes. Haha, thank you very much. Oh, no! Patch notes are not live yet. Not live yet. As the Butcher, you earn the new currency. Yes, Patrick. Either you earn it if you're the Butcher, or you only earn it in the Slaughterhouse. So we don't know yet where you get the new currency, if it is instantly as you turn into the Butcher, or if it is really just in the Slaughterhouse. I wonder if they say up here, wait. Kill streak system. Wait. So taste seasonal for the first Diablo history. Butcher fearlessly. Taste of Power quest line. Meaty Offerings. Shrine of Slaughter. Activate the Gory Shrine. In Fields of Hatred. Completely replaces typical PvP combat. Yeah, Butcher's Idle Rise. We get that. Slaughterhouses arrive as another way to transform. Read Discern Grisly Connotation. Massacring enemies as the Butcher will earn you fresh meat. There you go. They said it. You know? They said it. It's there. We'll get the fresh meat. So we figured that out. So butcher, fresh meat, and then you can roll for gear. That's kind of good. The butcher itself here, this guy is dropping the new unique items of the season, right? And the items that he's dropping have a high chance to be bloodied, or they're always bloodied, right? Didn't they make an item that raises hell type levels permanent? That was back in the days, African Bigfoot. We don't have that anymore. That was before we had Torment. Was it before Torment? I think it was before Torment, right? Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm like, we gotta probably wait for the end of the live stream before we get the patch notes, I assume. And I still like to see the patch notes, right? Give me that article right now, you little shits. You're not making me happy with this.
Fantastic. And I've got something really excited to share with everybody back home. If you're a lore nerd or really love the narrative around Diablo, we've actually got a copy of our next novel coming to the Diablo franchise. This is The Lost Herodrum, written by Matthew J. Kirby in close tandem with the development team. It launches on April 21st, and it covers the story of the Lost Herodrum, and it is the official prequel novel to the Lord of Hatred expansion. So if you want to know everything that was kind of going on leading up to these events, this is definitely something you're going to want to check out now. Pre-order is live, and the book comes out on April 21st, right ahead of the Lord of Hatred expansion. So, I mean, I'm sure people are going to.
Do we have to read this live on stream, chat?
But it's a great little prepper for when the expansion goes live. And just to give a quick recap of everything coming with the Lord of Hatred expansion, we've got a really handy infographic that takes you through everything. Like we mentioned, the campaign, the classes, the region, and a whole lot more to get into. And we'll have more details in that live stream that we're going to have closer to expansion launch in April. And then for Season of Slaughter, it launches on March 11th. You're going to be able to become the Butcher. There's kill streaks, Butcher skills, a new reliquary. We've got Doom the Dark Ages, new unique, and of course that Paladin free
exactly.
trial.
Do I have
and
to
when Season
read
of Slaughter goes live on March 11th, you'll actually be able to grab this Twitch drops that's going to start with the season. It is the two-handed.
I'm going to ask Diablo if they're going to send me a book if I read it live on
Doom
stream.
The Dark Ages. That Shield Saw cosmetic looks pretty badass, and of course, if you collect all of these in the free reliquary, you will get this town portal in the bottom right corner, which looks just absolutely insane. And then when Season of Slaughter goes live, you will be able to grab this bow cosmetic starting on March 11th. Just watch any streamer in the Diablo IV category that has drops enabled on their channel for 2 hours to grab this badass bow cosmetic. And of course, on March 9th, you'll be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 patch update on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation, so you can load right in, and then when 2.6.0 goes live on March 11th, you'll be able to jump right into Season of Slaughter, which will be really great. So I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been here. Thanks for hanging out and answering all the questions.
You're welcome.
I want to give a massive thanks to production, Filthy Rich and the boys. Thanks for putting on a great show as always. And I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in and checking out the stream. We're really excited to get Season of Slaughter in front of you on March 11th. So we'll see you all in Sanctuary.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Good. Now that we get that out of the way with the patch notes. Like, you know, update. Because I want to see if something changed. Give me. 27 years ago, I still remember when I opened the door, I thought I saw everything in the game. Then I heard fresh meat and you get run down by the butcher. It always been a pleasure to have that. Honestly, I thought like I would just have some casual fun with season 12. But now I'm actually more excited to play this. Because it's super gimmicky. You know? Or I have to wait a month for the patch notes, honestly. Update the link, please. We're gonna get it. We'll look at it. I mean, I'm obviously like, as soon as we get the patch notes, we're gonna also make the Warlock video. So which one are you more intrigued in, guys? The Warlock video where we wrap everything up that we saw in the Warlock, or the Season 12 update video? Well, I guess in 2 months. Yeah, but people are still excited for the Warlock, Seb. Also, yes, Season 12 is happening now, but Season 12 is happening now also in 5 days. Don't worry, though. I'll make both videos. So don't worry, chat. I'm not going to bed early today. I'm not going to sleep before I have both videos done. Luckily, the content of both videos is really easy to do. So I'm probably going to take 2 hours to make 2 YouTube videos. Tops 3. Probably 2. I can do it in 2. I'm fast as fuck. So that's going to be rather quick. I mean, luckily, these videos, they flow really nicely. So we are pumped. I mean, I will have to see the patch notes, though, because they're very helpful for this kind of stuff. But yeah, for that, we'll have to get the patch notes first. Right? Oh, they put out the Warlock class trailer. Is it the same thing we saw? It's the same thing we saw. No, it's actually a different trailer. Good to see some more skills. Could we just take some time? Patrick, you're wrong about that. You're surprisingly wrong about that. Some of my best videos that I've ever made have taken the least amount of time, and some of the worst videos I've made have taken the most amount of time. I know that sounds weird, but like, time invested does not automatically make a good video. It's more about like, a good video makes a good video. Right? Simple as that. The patch notes. I think they're aware we really bullied them now here on the partner Discord a lot of times. So I hope they get aware of this so we can look into it. Hoping Warlock is not too complicated for your casual brain. So far from what we have seen in the live stream, Warlock is certainly not too complicated. It does have synergies, but the synergies are still going to be down simply using your skills, right? Obviously, there are going to be super optimal ways to do it, but the main choice you got to make is, do you want to use the skill in demon form, or do you want to summon the demon? Kind of, right? The new skill trees can't come in Season 12, as you know. It doesn't work. Because the damage we're missing is not going to be compensated from the skill trees. So that's not going to work. Oh, Patrick, all good. Don't you worry. I'm just like, it's the worst part about being a content creator, right? Like, you put hours and hours into a video, and it performs horrible. I mean, for example, like if I want to give you an example, so if we quickly go over my YouTube here, so we have this video here, this fire spell on hit that took me 8 hours of cutting, 8 hours of actual cutting. It's currently sitting at 33k views, and then we have this. What was it here? No rest for the wicked, 132,000. So the recording and cutting in total was 3 hours for this, right? Sometimes it do be that way. Then we get here this video, one map every build. So this took me like 1 hour and 30 minutes to make. 86k views. This 132,000 views took me 2 hours to make. This Ice Wyvern here took me 8 hours to make. 70k. Right? So this is just the reality of these videos and how they go sometimes, right? I mean, this Resident Evil video took me technically 4 hours to make because that was a full speed run. It's the ups and downs, right? The way it goes sometimes. Okay, chat. I will read through the patch notes and they will end in the Season 12 video, okay? The Season 12 video won't come before the patch notes have dropped, but we're not going to wait now for the patch notes to drop. I will concoct this Warlock video for everyone that hasn't had the time to really pay attention to everything. I will also include information from the leaked footage because now I can pretty much use this one because we have seen the Warlock finally. In case you forgot, IGN did leak some footage back in the days. That was actually more intensive than what we have seen so far. So yes, I know it's crazy, but here, this is the IGN footage. They actually are allowed to post it finally. So this is the video from IGN, chat, 12 minutes. You should watch this. I'm going to post it. This has even more information on the Warlock because it does actually show skills, right? It shows more of Warlock actual gameplay. So this is like the IGN footage. Finally, it's allowed to be out. And they show a bit more on all the respective things that we get going on here. And like the Hellfire throwing, the actual being in demon form, right? That kind of stuff. So this is very good information. This is great that we actually see this. This is the official, this is what used to leak, right? And where they pretty much explain everything. And that together with the actual reveal stream is very extensive. It's quite sad though, because this information is more than we have just gotten. Which is actually full super scam. Like, what the fuck is that? Why do I have to go to a second channel to know more about the Warlock? Okay. See, this is the Wall of Agony. Summon and fuse 5 frenzied demons into a line for 8 seconds. The demons block enemies and flail wildly, dealing damage. This is for level 15 Warlock. Or Rampage. Summon a rampaging brute for 10 seconds that smashes wildly and has a chance to eviscerate. And then that Rampage had obviously the different forms that you could turn into, right? And I think he hovered quickly over that other skill here. And yeah, oh my goodness, this is hard. This is going to be hard to frame match, right? To actually get, but oh my goodness, let me frame match this. Ah, there. We got Sigil of Summons. That was actually mentioned before. So yeah, like we can see all the skills, right? Finally. There's Hell Fracture, Summon the Fires of Hell, Fracture Ground Dealing. The Fracture remains for 15 seconds and explode up to 2 more times when you cast Hell Fracture again. So that's repetitive Hell Fracture casting into each other, right? And that's kind of like, this is important, right? It's important that we have this video. So this is going to be included in my Warlock preview. So we're going to just download that right away. And then I can give you a more comprehensive look on the actual Warlock. We have the patch notes now too, finally, with the actual change. So kill streaks no longer reset when going between floors and dungeons. That's super important for the stuff. Attack speed per kill streak is up. Cooldown reduction per kill streak is also up. That's amazing. So they made the kill streaks more valuable. That's where the changes. That's it. I don't think there was anything else. Spiritborn, yeah. This is all very minuscule, very not special. Here, this is here, balance updates, all classes. Butcher's Cleaver, Endurant Phase, Tested of the Dawning Sky, Ixfeld, Soulbrand, Lorcan's, Crown of Lucian. This is all very not even mattering in any way. See, Barbarian didn't change at all. The tower changed. Quality of life updates, right? Combat. Stagger for bosses has been updated. Bosses now build stagger twice as fast as before. Stagger build-up no longer decays over time. After bosses staggered, they gain increased stagger resistance for 20 seconds. While this resistance is active, the boss is 5 times harder to stagger. Each additional party member Oh, interesting. So you can now stagger bosses with stagger builds more, and that's actually huge. That's actually huge. Damn. Scalenius, bug fixes, tower, gameplay, this fixes. Yeah, see, not much change in terms of balancing, right? It's more or less always all still the same as it was before. Damage increases there, so that's good. But the most important part is probably down here that we now have the stagger better. Want to stay in Butcher? You can't stay in Butcher. Butcher is limited, Steve. You always get some Butcher and then you get flown out. So there's no way to actually stay in Butcher form. Can now stagger more than ever. So the Butcher's a temporary thing, Steve, that you activate, then it runs out, and then you have to activate it again. Unless you're in a slaughterhouse where you're consistently the Butcher. Perfect. Well, Chad, that is good. So we have now all the knowledge. We can create that Warlock video for you. Can't wait to actually share everything that we have learned. So thank you very much for coming for the Warlock reveal for Season 12 and everything. I'll be back tomorrow with actual Where Winds Meet and the Hexy region. That's going to be what we stream there. And we're going to be dropping more videos, though, on Diablo 4 Season 12. And we're going to get prepared for the season. So looking very much forward to that. However, we're done for today. Thank you for coming, watching, lurking, chatting. Have an eye out for the Warlock video. I'm going to drop it as soon as possible. Okay. And the Season 12 update with the Butcher also. Therefore, take care and see you all tomorrow again. Good night.